Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW. Now I'm joined by my friend and yours, Lord of the Moops, Master of the Poops, is Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello, Mikey.
Bring me your virgin chickens.
Why specifically chickens, and why must they be virgins?
I want no eggs sullied by another man.
Oh no, you want the purest chicken.
I want the purest chicken as I blow out my mic.
I like the idea of what the purest chicken would be.
A chicken whose bum has not sent out a single egg.
Oh, you know, Gonzo would be all about that chicken.
Gonzo probably has there's probably a really dark behind the scenes, like behind the actor studio with Muppets, where Gonzo comes out and it's like when Johnny Depp was on, and he's like he's clearly broken from years of drug and alcohol abuse.
Why he's
And
going
it's
to the
like-
chicken joints, smoking,
Yeah, just like
drinking.
Yeah, I mean, I got really successful there. Man, you just go to those chicken farms and they're all packed in there in the battery areas, and you just go in and they can't move. Can't go
Oh
in.
God.
I was in there for hours, man.
See, I was thinking more like a chicken
The
stripper
farmer
joint.
thought it was a fox. I just killed him afterwards when I was done.
I thought it was more like you were suggesting you'd go to a chicken stripper joint with a pocket full of seed. You know, and instead of throwing dollar bills, he's just like throwing seed on the stage, and they go. You took it darker. Wow, Mikey. Good for you. I'm not
Battery
sure.
farming's not very good.
It
It encourages Gonzo.
a whole new idea to Animal Farm, I suppose. Put Gonzo in there. We'll see what
man.
happens.
Thanks, Gonzo.
We're not here to talk about Gonzo and his love of de la chicken. We're here to talk about Transformers this week. And we're starting off with crappy news this week, but I'd say quite good crappy news.
It's amusing for what it is.
I'd say I'm fairly positive on this story. And what is it exactly? It's the officially licensed G1 Optimus Prime costume at Walmart. People of the show who frequent us regularly probably know that we're not the most positive on Halloween costumes for the most part. I think that's fair to say, yes?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But in this, for this one specifically, it's available in child size. This is according to the article here. We're unsure even if older fans would like to get this for Halloween or a party or not. I assume it's just going to be in kids size, but never mind.
Will that stop anyone?
It depends on the size of the person, I would hope. Who knows?
Does it?
I hope so.
There's gonna be a lot of ripped Halloween costumes.
It's being sold for $24.97. It's Optimus Prime. So what are the... It's a deluxe costume, so it's a bit more fancy. It's got a bit more doolally to it, a bit more sauce. So what is the sauce that I'm talking about? Well, these are the stats. It is a jumpsuit with art on the back and the front. So it's the kind of standard... I don't want to say spandex suit, but it's that kind of Halloween styled suit. But not only that, it's got built-out shoulders and wrists, forearms, so they're being puffed out, so they're more square, and give a bit more of a look to it. You've got a detachable 3D chest plate, so you've got his not his visor, his glass, his windows. What they called, Mikey?
Windows.
Window is it? Okay. You'll go with windows. I thought there's probably
Windscreen.
Windscreen. That's the one. The windscreen from his chest mode. Thank you, Mikey. You've got
I
that.
was going to leave you with Windows, but
You think of the listeners, Mikey. Think of the children.
hello, children. Listen to something else. This is not your world.
This is not your world. There's also a character mask with adjustable straps, which, fair enough. People have larger heads than others or smaller. And they also have built-out puffy shins as well. So the reason I think this is better than most costumes is because the puffed-out shins, the puffed-out forearms, and the puffed-out shoulders with the chest plate give a much more Optimus Prime look to it. I really do think it helps a lot to make the child look more like Optimus Prime-esque. And I would be pretty fucking thrilled to have this as a kid. My complaint is, and my little frowny face kind of, I don't know, is I would have liked the forearm sleeves to maybe have a bit where you put your hand through, because it's just a big hole in the bottom. You know, if they'd done that up and they had like an elastic band that you push your hand through, so then it kind of closed it up. Yeah, I would have liked that a bit more. But I think overall, this is a really fun little costume and should super impress people. I did just scroll down, went looking for adult Optimus Prime costume, and there's a lady in a very, very, very tight movie Optimus Prime, just like spandex thing.
You're the second person I've heard
heels.
Say that.
What do you mean, the second person?
You're the second person I say they did that search and that was what they found. That exact thing.
See, I didn't do the search. I just scrolled down the screen to the chat. It was in the chat.
Oh.
Oh, the conversation, the board thingy. Anyway, so it's like, I mean, if you scroll down the page, you'll probably see it too. She's wearing color appropriate high heels as well, which is
good.
She's thinking inside the box, Mikey, not outside of it. Inside the box.
So what you're saying is she's limited.
I'm saying that she's looking at what Optimus Prime works with, and she's like, I need to have my shoes match my costume. Practical lady, good for her. Mikey, what do you think of this outfit?
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
These things don't excite me, unsurprisingly. But it's neat. I think someone put some effort into this one.
Yes, I think that's the most important
thing. Someone went,
thing.
Hey, let's try and make him look something vaguely else. I think the mask is well done.
Yeah, it looks fine. It's probably half of a mask, to be honest, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's going to be funny when this is advertised for 2-year-olds, like everything else. Oh, yeah, skin tight. Optimus Prime one.
Aye.
She doesn't look happy to be in that.
No, no, I don't think she looks. She's given that sultry, smoldering, pose.
That's less sultry, smoldering, and more like just take the fucking photo.
Is it? Okay, I'll take your word for it.
That's what I think. Like, and also, I'm sorry, like, I don't find sticking your one ass cheek to the left that sultry.
I meant
only Jessica Rabbit.
I meant the
can pull
face. I didn't mean her particular pose, just her face, her expression, I should say.
That still looks like the cameraman probably got punched in the nuts.
Maybe not. She's
like, this is what my life has come to. This is my career. I went to law school.
I'll throw out there. I think that this style of costume would work well for Megatron, G1 Megatron. I don't think it would work well for Bumblebee, because you'd need to give them a little tummy, as G1 Bumblebee is a little pudgy boy. Bless him.
I also like the image of children wearing this and then trying to be a gun.
Oh, you mean if they did Megatron? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, just curling up to.
That's something Prime doesn't come with. He doesn't come with an ion blaster, so ion blaster would need to be added separately. Same with an axe.
No, but this looks like people put effort in.
Yeah. That would be a neat thing, because Hasbro own Nerf, don't they?
Yes.
They've never done a Nerf ion blaster, have they?
No, I don't think. They haven't done a lot of cross-sell. Like, they've done a Transformer that's a Nerf gun, but they've never done a Nerf gun that's a Transformer.
Oh, yeah, they did the... It was that awful thing Nicole got that one year from the raffle draw, which was Starscream, and you pulled it back and it turned into a little robot hand, and it really shot some darts out, if I remember. Do you remember that?
I do. I was actually thinking of Classics Megatron.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. He was a Nerf gun. Looked like one, at least. That's something, Hasbro. Give us an eye on it.
He was a specific model of a Nerf gun.
No, that's true.
I don't know enough Nerf gun to comment further than that. But
you're not a Nerf gun aficionado.
I find it slightly disturbing. There are Nerf gun aficionados.
There's fans of everything, Mikey. Fans of everything. Right. I may as well take us on to the next bit of crappy news, which is once again another Christmas decoration. Yay! Or not. It's new from Hallmark, and it's a G1 Bumblebee. He is going to be going for $8. It's Bumblebee. He doesn't look happy, and he's in a little fighting squat pose. There's also an Optimus Prime.
The Christmas season.
Yes, it's the time of year when Bumblebee wants to kill you.
Nothing sets my heart aflame like looking at a tree and seeing someone do a sumo pose, waiting to wrestle me to the struggling ground. And it's a car person as well.
From the images we have here, there's the Prime next to him and Bumblebee and a zombie from Minecraft. Bumblebee's a lot... Yeah, I mean, that in itself is a bit weird. The Prime looks terribly painted. The Bumblebee looks a lot better in terms of its paint job. Granted, these are not the best images of it, so, Bumblebees may vary from store to store, but it is significantly better here in this case compared to the Prime, which has just got a super muddy face.
Truly.
Like blobbed. Not good. Not super good.
No, not really.
No. Hey, Bumblebee making a snowman would be nice. Again, we've gone over this before with ideas of how you can make them Christmassy. So
can we have one Transformers Christmas ornament that has something to do with Christmas?
Just a hat. That's all we need.
Give me the bloody Megatron from Thundercracker Saves Christmas.
Yeah, that'd be all right. That would be something, Mikey.
Yeah, give me the bloody Thundercracker from Thundercracker Saves Christmas with the bloody detective coat.
Yeah.
That would work. I'd take that because at least it was set at Christmas.
Yeah.
Give me something. Put a hat on Grimlock.
It's all we want. I mean, we still probably wouldn't buy it, but...
No, God, no!
It'd make more sense.
Yeah.
Mikey, do you want to take us on to third-party news, sir?
RC as Elf.
Oh, okay, no, right, that's not the third-party news, that's just an idea you had, okay.
So yeah, from X-Transbots, we have a reveal at Hobby Free 2018 in China. I'm assuming it's some sort of convention. They reveal... Well, I don't know, it doesn't say. It just says Hobby Free 2018. I don't know.
That's true.
Like, is this where all the knockoffs come from? I don't... But they revealed a prototype, a pink prototype, for a G1 style Masterpiece Scale Elita 1. Now, the robot mode, pretty on mark to the show model. The back is basically a car. I'm not super blown away. X-Transbots are one of those ones I don't hear great things about.
In terms of the build quality? Or...
In terms of the build company, yeah.
Okay.
Build quality. Also, there's a few design things here I'm not crazy about, especially the big hole in her neck.
That has to be mistransformed. There's no way that they'd just leave...
hope that is.
There's no way they'd leave a massive hole. You'd hope anyway. It would be ridiculous if they'd just go, big hole in the chest. It's fine.
I don't know. It's like a less interesting version of RC.
Yeah, have you noticed how it looks like her fingers close as well?
Yeah, like I'm hoping that means proper articulation, but I'm noticing the way the fingers are bent on the left hand.
Yeah.
It's probably just a knuckle joint.
Yeah, it looks
a single knuckle joint. And I don't think that does the thumb have anything.
I don't think so, but it is kind of hard to tell.
Well, that must be a transformation joint then.
It's weird because, like when she closes her hands to, I guess, try and make a fist, it just looks like she's making this weird claw. Like her hands, like her fingers are actually knives more so than anything else. Or she's doing like the
queen kiss, where she's holding her fingers out to kiss your ring.
Yeah, that's how you pose it, I suppose, because otherwise it doesn't work as a fist. So it doesn't look like closing the hand would help holding a gun either. So you have to. I would imagine you're right, Mikey. It has to be for transformation purpose or storage.
Just get my opinion out of the way. This doesn't excite me either in terms of the character, because it's not a hulking monster who's trying to take over a planet politically and is kind of a horrible person sitting on a chair made of bodies. And also as a toy, it doesn't really interest me because it doesn't look that well put together. Like
not here at least.
Not really, and like I really don't like the shoulder construction.
No,
it's weird. It's like I can't tell if her shoulders are coming out too low or too high, but they're not in the right place. And there's some. Just the fact that it's literally all the kibble on the back. Like, I get it. Elita wasn't designed with an alt mode in mind, but she's just going to be a case of curl a robot up and make a car form around her. You know?
Yeah, we haven't seen a car mode, have we?
No. We've just seen the main mode. Anyway, so that's my opinion on her. What's your thoughts?
It's not super great. I think the Iron Factory Elita 1 is better. And granted, she is just a slight retool of RC. Was it RC?
Yes. Yeah. With a giant head and stuck her gun off men's backsides.
That's That was fun. This looks like they are, like you say, trying to go for the G1 aesthetic, which is difficult if you want to make it transform as well, because, Jesus, they had nothing to work with the lady robots, did they?
No.
Absolutely nothing.
RC is the only one they had anything, because at least Flint Dille designed an alt mode for.
Yeah.
But
They had alt modes in the show, though, but they weren't designed to at least show them.
Yeah, I think I think maybe Firestar transformed
Transformed into a little, cup kind of truck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe Chromia, although I'm not 100% on Chromia.
No, me neither.
But they were very clearly designed. We need women, and if they have an alt mode, we'll throw something together after the fact.
Yeah.
And the fact they were only really introduced because RC was coming in the movie.
Is that the reason she was added?
I recently watched a documentary on the making of the movie. Mm-hmm. Pretty well researched one, and the writer was insisting on having a female character in the movie because his daughter wanted a transformer. But wanted a transformer character like her. And Hasbro, there were other factors in there, but the reason the girls were introduced early was because he'd been pushing for this, and they said, okay, we've got other reasons for doing this, but we'll put a female in there. Obviously, she never got a toy.
I was gonna say, I bet she loved those figures.
But in order to sort of normalize the idea, instead of just having this pink robot show out of nowhere, they had the female Autobots introduced.
Oh, okay. See, as a kid, I saw the movie, never questioned it.
No, I was too busy watching everyone explode.
Yep, crying, oh my god, he's dead.
And then being half convinced years later, I saw Optimus Prime crumble to dust.
Really?
Oh, that was a thing as well.
Oh, man, I didn't know that.
I remembered before I saw the movie the second time, because it was good for years, the rumor was going around that there was a hidden cut that people had seen in the cinemas or in certain home video releases where Optimus, after he handed the Matrix over to Magnus, crumbles.
That had to be disproven, right?
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
We now have.
Does it?
No, we have scripts and stuff from there. There are things cut from the movie, but that's not one of them.
No, weird.
But and you saw the same thing. I think Land Before Time, there was a rumor going around that there was an extra violent cut, and I'm just like,
R-rated, where the Predator comes back and hunts Littlefoot.
No, we just after the mother dies, we just see him come in and start eating her.
Well, Littlefoot.
No, the mother.
The mother eats herself when she dies. Yeah, that's impressive.
They try and give her strength.
I will eat my own body to give me nourishment.
Yeah.
That would have been a very different movie.
No. As my thing has frozen up for some reason. Okay. But yeah, so any other opinions on Elita 1 or Child Trauma?
I think if you're comparing this to the RC by Fans Toys, the RC looks a lot better. And I think if Fans Toys are going to do an Elita 1, it would probably be a safer bet to wait for them to do one. Not obviously, there's no guarantee that'll even happen, but I would hold off. Okay.
1982. But
you may as well take the next news as well, Mikey, as it's continuing X-Transbots stuff.
But I would rather wait for Fans Toys RC.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is at least something that's definitely unique, which is a masterpiece scaled Autobot Spike.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, it's Autobot-X, which is when Spike was put into. Basically, they've got other people's body parts, stuck them together, and made a body for him. So this seems to be. I'm gonna say this because it's a trigger word.
Oh no!
This seems to be a masterpiece scaled Action Master.
Oh, you hated that as well. You hated hearing that.
Yep, I hated hearing it. I hated saying it. But yes, this is a non-transforming figure. There are things in there that look like maybe it. You could say, oh, maybe that's a joint, but it doesn't take long to realize the design does not lend itself to transformation. But there's some interesting things here. It looks like it's going to have butterfly joint elbows and butterfly joint shoulders. A lot of articulation in the legs. I think this could be pretty interesting as a playable action figure. Some of the sculpting, I'm going to say, isn't great. I don't like the face sculpt.
Is it meant to be from that scene, though, when he's like, no? Is that what they were going for, do you think?
It feels warped. It feels warped from that.
Yeah.
Plus, he seems just sort of more like
Yeah.
Oh. So I think because I noticed their Alita's face isn't quite on the ball either.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it might just be maybe they have some issues with head sculpts. Not unheard of. But honestly, I'm curious about this guy. I'm sure plenty of people are bitching about, oh god, non-transforming Transformer nonsense. And to them I say, shh, go to sleep. Go to sleep. But I don't think I ever expected to see a masterpiece action figure like this.
No.
What's your thoughts on him, Andy?
I've never liked Autobot-X. It was Frankenstein's monster, the episode for the show, and it's like, okay, that's fine. But even as a kid when I watched it, I was like, I never felt the urge to be like, I want a figure of Autobot-X. He looks cool. He just looked like a mess. He didn't even have a good color layout on him. At least in my perspective, at least. So this translation, I guess, is accurate enough. At least they're doing something different. That's something you could say. Granted, it is in the masterpiece scale, so you kind of go, but it is something no one else has done. So I'll give them credit for that. I just don't really care, I'm afraid.
Why not, Andy? It's amazing.
I told you, Autobot-X just is kind of blech. Blech. If they did Protoform X instead, then we'd be having a different conversation. It'd be Rampage then.
That would be a bit odd.
But better.
Yes, but like if they did like Protoform X version where he's got none of his features, that would be odd.
It would be because we didn't see any of it really. We saw a silhouette and that was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, they do it like an accurate one, so it's like,
oh no,
it looks like it's covered in shadows and everything else. You can't see any details.
Oh, I thought you meant it's just going to be like low-res polygons with terrible textures. Let's make him accurate to the show and make him look shit. Okay.
For the time, very advanced.
I would argue he wasn't advanced because they shaded him out so much. They didn't need to worry about good textures on him because he was mainly silhouetted. But yeah, Autobot-X, he's a lad that's coming.
He is.
Yep, for better or worse. I'll take the next story, Mr. Mikey, as we have a new contender into the third-party field.
Are they entering with an interesting and original take on new characters using interesting designs that are original and not ripped off from G1?
Well, Mikey, let me tell you, they are entering the field. I can guarantee you that much, at least. Now, I assume the name is Final Victory. Oh, no, it is. Yeah, their name is Final Victory. All right. A bit presumptuous, we'll say, but maybe not. They are doing, shockingly, a masterpiece scaled line of Transformers.
Oh my god.
I know. You must put your shorts back on, as I'm sure they've been blown off through surprise. At least the thing is they are doing some characters that haven't been done in this scale, even though it's once again.
Are they?
Aren't they?
Not really.
Okay, you'll need to remind me because what they're doing is.
Remember Bad Cube?
We'll get on to that. The ones that they've been showing off. That was at the Hobby Free 2018 event in China. Was they showed off G1 Huffer, Warpath, and Brawn. Yeah. Now, Bad Cube, were they not stylized slightly?
I know their Brawn, I think, was like, because they did him as Outback as well, I think he was heavily based off of character models.
Okay, the Warpath wasn't, though. The Warpath was...
No, Warpath was, I think, but he had a transformation thing where half of his body became like a shield.
Wasn't he, like, way more chunky, though, than he should have been? I can't remember.
I'd have to go back and check.
No.
And Huffer has been done like a billion times.
Who gives a shit about Huffer?
Somewhere Seth is crying. I care about Huffer.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't. You care about Gears. Love Gears. No one loves Gears. So Mikey, mini-bots, they are a thing that exist, and this is a new company. Is it a good idea for a new company to start off with mini-bots, do you think, as their first outing?
I would say, in an overstuffed market.
Yep.
There are characters to do that would grab people's attention more.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're looking at season 2 characters like, I don't know, Skids, who have not gotten a lot of attention in the third-party market, or you're looking at season 1 characters who, okay, they've got attention, but maybe they could, maybe it's an opportune time to release something new, like Reflector.
Yeah.
Or season 3 characters, because there's plenty of season 3 characters that never.
No one liked
season
season 3.
really
Nobody liked season 3, Mikey. We'll just do the
sure,
G1 stuff.
A lot of people would say that about season 2. Maybe some toy characters who never got it. People like those.
You mean like DevCon?
Yeah, DevCon. Or I don't know, do the Slizzix.
What, Slizzaro?
Yeah.
And the little pig dude who was trying to kill Octane.
Yeah.
That guy.
You do Octane. We've had an Octane. I think we could do another one, I suppose. But
we've had
this
a few.
feels an unremarkable way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. Could be worse.
Could be worse. Could be an Optimus Prime.
I was
or a Megatron.
I was actually thinking
or
the
a Bumblebee.
Stunticons. Or
a
Combaticons.
Stunticons.
Yeah.
Or the Constructicons.
Yep.
Or
the Aerobots. The list goes on.
Yeah. Or the Dinobots.
Oh, yes, of course.
So, at least it's not that, but hey, you mentioned them there. Could be Gears.
Yeah.
Could be... well, no, they've done lots of cliff jumpers. But,
have they done a lot of wind charges?
Not really. Could be Perceptor.
Oh, yeah. Have we had a Perceptor? We must have had a Perceptor.
I honestly don't think we have.
No, that can't be true.
I know the only third-party Perceptor I can think of is the Planet X one.
There was also one years ago by KFC as well, where they gave him all the sniper stuff.
Yeah, I would say then the market is open.
Oh, that's Mikey coming across the hills in his plane, carpet bombing the land. Fuck you!
So, there are other characters they could do. Basically.
There are. Yeah, they could do Skylinks. And put them up against the Mastermind Creation one.
Hey! We're probably into Skylinks Wars next.
Oh.
Link Wars.
Link Wars. I'd only be okay if that was Iron Factory going into that war. Though Iron Factory seem to be very busy at the moment doing the DJD, I'm assuming, because they've been silent for a while, I think. Or it feels like they have.
I think until the DJD are out and about, we won't be hearing much from them, I think.
Yeah, because the Combaticons came out. I think Slipstreams recently came out, or recentishly. Yeah. So I'm guessing the next stuff is just going to be the DJD, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing I know for a fact they've got announced.
Yeah. Oh, they didn't have a Deathsaurus, did they?
No, I think
they should.
Planet X and everyone should. Planet X and Mastermind are the only ones who are doing Deathsaurus so far.
Okay. I couldn't. I don't know if
they
for
had
some
a
reason
Diatlas.
In my mind I thought they were doing one.
They could do a Star Saber.
That'd be nice. Anyway, yeah, off topic there. Do you have any feelings on how these are looking at least? Because I think they look fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Conservative.
Yes.
And
yes.
I mean, not just in the aesthetic, but in just sort of like, it looks like the engineering is going to be relatively simplistic.
It'll be interesting to see them painted up. That'll make them pop a lot more, obviously. But yeah, they just kind of look at them and it's like, there's Brawn, there's Huffer, and there's Warpath again. Yeah.
Final Victory, they're just not... They're not sparking it for me.
Not yet. Not yet. Mikey, I want you to tell me of a potential rebirth of sorts.
A rebirth?
A potential rebirth.
Why, is Dan Didio about to show up and ruin it for everyone?
Potentially.
DC's doing badly, guys. It's amazing how quickly they undermined 2 years of goodwill.
Oh no.
Like, kneecapped it. In hilarious fashion. But like, oh man, last couple of weeks, especially the interviews I've been reading, I was just like, no, what we're doing is great, it's great. It's just like, oh, Dan, shut up.
No.
But I won't get into that. I might talk about it in off topic, but probably not. But yeah, Toys R Us US version 2.0. So, Toys R Us, fine Canadian brand. We've got some weird stuff coming out of the Toys R Us bankruptcy case. So this was shared by 2005 board member Spiderus Prime. The debtors have determined, in consultation with the consultation parties, to cancel the intellectual property auction and reorganize debtor Jeffrey, Toys R Us, as a new operating Toys R Us and Babies R Us branding company that maintains existing global license agreements and can invest in and create new domestic retail operating businesses under the Toys R Us and Babies R Us names. The grammar in this is terrible. As well as expand its international presence and further develop its private brand businesses. So, in the last 6 or 7 months, thousands and thousands of employees have been laid off in Toys R Us shops in every country where they're operating bar Canada. I think Japan got hit recently. I think they did start closing stuff.
Oh, right.
But yeah, so they've sold all their shops, everything else, to all their distribution centers. But what this basically means is that the debtors and are basically thinking they'll probably make more money by trying to resurrect Toys R Us than kill it. Why take one lump sum in a short period of time when you can take a larger lump sum maybe over a little longer? So yeah, Toys R Us is probably going to coming back to the US, new shops, everything else. I have fairly mixed opinions on this.
Okay, how so?
And
what
to be
do you
fair,
think?
I have mostly negative opinions on this.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of people are going like, yes, Toys R Us, it's been saved. Our toys will be made and produced and are exclusive, blah, blah, blah. And my takeaway, I'm not having a go at anyone who's having that opinion, but my takeaway has been, there are shops in every country that has a Toys R Us, which is just going to take on the mantle anyway. Whether it's Walmart or Target or KB Toys or Smiths or whatever. All these toys are not going anywhere. The Hasbro isn't going to stop making them. They're going to, if they want exclusives, they'll take them to these guys. They'll take them to Amazon. They'll take them to GameStop. These are going, there was never going to really be a shortage for us, the collector.
I think the worry for some people is some people live in areas where it's very difficult to actually get to a toy store, and Toys R Us is sometimes the only option. So
true, but
I'm guessing their thought pattern is like, well, I'm guessing, of course. I'm guessing they're like, oh, hey, we can at least get to the toy stores that we used to be able to.
That's true, but again, at least, from the collecting point of view, and I am looking at this as a collector, not as a parent or anything else, we all do internet shopping anyway.
Yeah.
So, and we all do bargain hunting on the internet, everything else. So, unless it's like I need that experience of the hunt, which I know some people do.
Some people love it. I've never enjoyed it.
Some people love it.
Do you enjoy the hunt, Mikey?
I like the hunt well enough, but I'm very specific about what I'm looking for when I go toy hunting, and which means I get frustrated quickly.
See, I'm just a dirty deal whore. Like, I get really annoyed if I see something. I'm like, I could just get it cheaper somewhere else.
Yeah,
that's what's always gone through my mind,
especially in the UK and in Ireland with how much we pay. But there's also the thing, I saw people going like, right now, how are Toys R Us going to prevent this happening again, and coming up with like how they're going to readjust, because obviously the toy market's broken, not selling physically, blah blah, which is missing the point, because Toys R Us wasn't killed because their business model was failing. No. They were killed because vulture capitalists came in and basically used a broken debting system to, make money off of bankrupting someone.
Weren't they doing fairly well for the most part for
they were
sales
doing grand.
And stuff? Yeah,
like their sales are grand. As far as I know, maybe there was a bit of a drop off, but nothing significant.
I thought they were definitely still in profit. They were just, like you say, burdened with millions of dollars in debt.
Millions of debt that they could have handled better if they didn't get bad advice from someone who kind of makes their money from giving bad advice.
Yeah.
But that's I'm not a business. I don't have the business acumen to go into that. But the real reason I'm kind of just like okay about this is that thousands of people lost their jobs.
Yes.
Literally thousands. Short notice from many. A lot of them wouldn't have come away with any benefits or severance pay, at least nothing major. And they a lot of them, it's kind of like Telltale Games. A lot of them woke up one morning not really sure what they were going to do with themselves. And I very much doubt Toys R Us is going to have someone sending out emails and phone calls saying, like, listen, just, we're just offering you the chance to come back to the shop.
That's unlikely.
So I'm not emotionally invested in Toys R Us. I never have been.
No.
So I'm just looking at this as a guy who buys toys. And I find the company side of this skeevy would be the term to use. So.
Oh, that's how you describe me all the time as well.
Yeah, so basically this is like if you were a toy shop.
Hey, everybody come inside.
They always do, Andy.
I know.
They always do.
So much cleanup.
On aisle 4. But yeah, so I'm not enthused by this. The market will kick back up, and it won't be in for Christmas, but it'll be probably in early next year, I'd say. I'm not emotional about this. I'm going, okay, another venue is coming up. It won't get people back their jobs. It won't help anyone who's genuinely been hurt by this. And yeah, I also think it's foolish not to try and rehire people anyway, just so you save money on training people.
Sure.
But yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts. What are yours?
Kind of like you, I don't care too much. I think it's good. At least there will be stores out there for people to buy things from. That's never a bad thing, But I can't say I'm super invested either way, as most of my spending is online. I can't, even before Toys R Us went away, I can't remember the last time I went specifically to Toys R Us to buy something, because every time I went in, I looked at something and went, no, and then left. And then spat on the employees, as you do, because it's their fault, of course. So yeah, I'm not invested, but happy that people will be happy, I guess, is the best way to put it, I guess. I said I guess too many times, I guess. Shall we move on, Mikey?
Yes.
I'm sorry you didn't say I guess. We're going to talk about New York Comic Con 2018 as stuff went down. In the proverbial Chinatown, as they say. We're going to kick off with the lower end stuff and then ramp up, as we always do, to the stuff that we're most interested in. So we're going to start with Pop Culture Shock Generation 1, Starscream, Skywarp, and Thundercracker statues. Now, we don't usually do the statues, but again, this is the least interesting stuff as we're building up. These statues are okay. They're in kind of a flight pose, one knee up to the raised, and them kind of jetting off with some fiery whoosh effect below them, and they're on a nice base with a Decepticon insignia that has that fade from purple to a blue color, and they look like they're somewhat cel shaded ish.
Yeah, they're going with kind of a devastation color scheme. Yeah,
that's a good way to put it, actually. Not too thrilled with at least Starscream's face, at least how they've molded it. I think the other two look okay, but
I prefer his because he's got an expression.
Was the other two, Skywarp certainly wouldn't have an expression. I think Thundercracker should have a sneer or something.
They're just bland.
They are frowny faced people. They are like Starscream said, "You're having none of your Energon treats today," and I'm like,
yeah. Oh.
What do you think overall of these, Mikey?
They're okay. I mean, I like that there are individual bits. It looks like the arms are different in each one because they've Starscream's got 2 straight arms and they've mirrored Thundercracker and Skywarp, assuming they don't come with extra parts.
Of course, yeah.
I think these are fine. Not the most exciting poses, and like you said, the face sculpts aren't doing it for me. Starscream's the only one that kind of works, and it's not even a great face sculpt. But no, they're okay. They're not up my wheelhouse, or in my wheelhouse, or up my wheelhouse. I like that one better. But yeah, I think they will do if you were a statue collector.
I think we've seen better though.
Yes, definitely.
I think we've seen better. I think the better, the further away you are to them. The closer up images of specifically Starscream's face, his lips look kind of weird. They were he was made of clay, and they clayed on the extra bits and didn't really smush them in to blend it in. They just look like they've been sausaged on top, which is a bit distracting, at least to me. Mikey, what's the next bit of quick news? Because there's most of the stuff I think we've talked about, right?
Just a display for Flame Toys. We're not revealing anything, but showing prototypes and physicals of their model kit Optimus Primes, IDW and stylized, their Nemesis Prime, their Bumblebee, their IDW Megatron, Starscream, and then their larger figures, their Tarn, their Drift, the Shatterglass Drift, Starsaber, Victreelio, and the prototype of their upcoming semi-IDW Optimus Prime. Nothing really new here.
Is it the first time we've seen coloured images of Starsaber?
Maybe. I'm finding it difficult to remember, to be honest.
We have talked about them a few times, to be fair.
Oh, we have, yes. I mean, he looks very nice.
He does.
Looks very nice. And just pre-orders are now up for several of these.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pre-order Drift, you can pre-order the boat. Now, actually, I think all 3 Optimuses, depending on what shop you go to, you can get a pre-order on for the model kits. So that's the IDW, the Stylized, and the Nemesis. So these guys are starting to come out. I've seen one review of the Fur-Eye model kit Optimus, and it looked really good. So really, really got to get the money together to get a pre-order in for the ones I'm interested in.
Can't imagine they're too expensive, though, right?
They are $40. Which
how much yen is that?
4,000 for two. I mean, like for the price range and grade size they're going for, that's pretty standard.
Sort of.
Listen,
up and down.
Yeah, but I've seen more expensive guys that do less.
Oh, sure.
Having seen a review of them, and I'm talking about model kits here. But
sure.
No, I think these guys all look good. I mean, I'm not going to repeat my gushing, but any new thoughts, Andy?
I think I'm pretty sure these are the first time we've seen coloured images of Starsaber. So I will say that in some ways, I think he's a little bit busy with the colours, especially on the legs. Like because he has the translucent blue parts, and then right above that there's a bit of grey, then there's white, then there's blue, then there's a bit of space with white, and then there's yellow, and then there's grey, and then there's this his thigh. In places it's just a bit too much. I think if they smoothed out just a few places on him, or didn't have those coloured a different colour, it wouldn't. I mean, it's not a huge issue. It is very much a nitpick, but it's like I say, it's just a lot on the figure. The rest of the stuff looks fun. The model kits, like you say, look like they're quite fun. The Bumblebee looks a bit weird in the shoulders.
Oh God, I haven't looked into Bumblebee in a while. I think they're going a weird thing. They're going stylized version of the G1 toy, and that's bizarre to me. With a backpack.
See, to me, it looks more like no, yeah, actually, yeah. I was actually thinking the Pretender one, but the Pretender one's effectively the same as a G1 toy, just with the backpack on. So yeah, I can see that.
I like his hammer.
I think it's just because his wheels are on his shoulders and they're black and his shoulders are black. It just makes it blends together and makes his shoulders look a bit too big, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still looks good. All the things look fun. I hope they do well. I hope they continue to do stuff.
I saw a weird comment, which was, "I can't believe this line hasn't been cancelled yet."
It hasn't came out yet. Right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, we've had the Starscream and Optimus have come out. You can at least, I think you can buy those, not just pre-order, but buy those. I remember going like they've announced 1, 2, 3. They've announced these Devastator. They've also got a Chibi line. It would be very strange if they'd cancelled them by now.
Yeah,
like
they'd have to do very, very badly.
Yeah,
to be cancelled so soon.
Yeah, anyway, Andy, take us on to something new.
This is a little bit of a quickie, as we have from New York Comic Con, the Bumblebee movie Igniters. Yes, excitement.
Are they on fire?
They are not on fire. Not that kind of ignite. They are showing off Blitzwing, which is a tank. So we finally get to see what Blitzwing looked like, or was going to look like. His face kind of looks like Starscream.
Yeah, this line is educational in a way.
In a way, yeah. There's also, shockingly, an Optimus Prime. And then there's Shatter in jet mode and in car mode. I assume those are two different figures. No, they are. They clearly... Don't be stupid, Andy. They're clearly two different figures. Mikey, Energon Igniters. What do you think?
They're simple. They're simple. I've seen reviews. They seem to be a mixed bag. I like the Blitzwing. I like the general layout of it, and the tank mode looks very Revenge of the Fallen.
Only a little bit, I say sarcastically.
Yeah, I say a lot of people actually thought it was a retool, but as far as I know, like, it's a completely new mold. But I looking at these, except maybe Shatter, and even then, like, look at Shatter's face.
Which one? The plane one or the car one?
The car one, I believe.
Are you sure?
Yeah, like that weird mask thing she's got. I
Okay.
can't tell if that's a. I don't know if that's going to be in the movie, but
it's actually quite hard to tell what her face is on that, because it almost looks like the grey bits are her eyes, and then the grey bit in the center is her mouth.
Yeah, or like Optimus, who's clearly a really simplified version of the original movie model.
Oh, he looks so angry too.
Yeah. These toys kind of scream to me 2-year development cycle.
Yeah, like they should have came out beforehand.
Yeah, I get a strong feeling this Optimus was in development before they decided on the G1 design.
You think so?
I think their guy who was going to be who was storyboarded and whose designs were out there when these were being like thought up and laid out. I think that guy was the original movie Optimus design, just with more red and blue.
Yeah.
Without the flames, and I think at some point it would switch over into the G1 design, and these guys, 2-year development cycle. Because I'm seeing this like really, especially in some of the ones I've seen, the movie accurate or the live original trilogy accurate Optimus as part of this line when we know what he looks like in the film. It's a little jarring.
Yes, yeah, I would agree with you there.
Yeah, and the fact that Blitzwing is very clearly Revenge of the Fallen Megatron.
Yeah.
To the point where if you told me the original idea was he was going to reuse the character mold, or the model, rather, in the movie, I wouldn't be shocked. But no, I think these look fine for what they're. They're a small, kid-friendly collector line. They're going to be simplified.
Yep.
They're still better than the Cyberverse Warriors in general.
To kind of look at it in a way, or at least on par.
Yeah.
They're still messy, but I think they're fine for what they are. I don't think this line works for any, even the more simplified Bumblebee designs, which none of these really actually seem to be.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. They need to be basic bitch simple for a basic bitch transformation, because there's not enough things you can mold or paint. It's clearly not in the budget to make them look. I don't want to say make them look good, because that seems quite harsh, but you know what I'm getting at. Yeah. I'll also quickly throw the next bit in, if you like, because why not? They've shown off a movie studio series, Drift. He comes with some baby Dinobots for some bizarre reason. Mikey, you like dinosaurs, I'm told.
I do like dinosaurs.
I'm told you wrote a paper on them once in first school or something like that.
Yes, I did. It said I like dinosaurs on it.
Did it end with bitch? I like dinosaurs.
I got kicked out of class.
Bitch. You're such a troublemaker, Mikey. Burning down your school.
Listen, I didn't know she was still in there.
Yes, you did.
And you can't prove I knew, so I don't know why we're having this conversation.
It's true. Mikey, what do you think of this Drift? Is he a new mold? I think
maybe. I don't know the Drift mold well enough. I'm assuming, like, he's studio series, so I'm assuming he's at least a heavy retool of something if he's not a brand new mold.
Yeah.
But I would much prefer he was in blue.
Why isn't he in blue?
Because for some god awful reason he was black and red in Last Night.
Oh god, I forgot he's been 2 different colors. He was blue in the previous one, and then
because
the Last Night he was red.
They changed his car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, Dino babies have terrible names.
What do you mean?
Terry, Sharp T, and Tops.
Terry.
Yeah. Drift design is one I have an affection for, but in that color scheme, it's not working for me.
Yep.
The mini Dinobots are kind of cute. I think if you could get them in a little 3-pack, I think that would be kind of neat.
Would you prefer that? Would you buy that? Because that sounds like something you would do.
I would buy that before I'd buy an entire Studio Series Deluxe to get 3 little figures and a figure I'm kind of waiting to be repainted into blue.
Yeah. It might never happen, Mikey.
Yeah, but it's also like, how the hell are we already on Studio Series 36?
God damn.
That's nuts.
They're hammering through the line. It feels like they're hammering through the line.
Yeah. And we still haven't seen Bone Crusher and a couple of others that we know are coming.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's weird. Will I take us on, Andy?
Yes, please do, sir. Please do.
So, via a combination of official images and the Hasbro event, where we got to see physical prototypes, we have some upcoming figures from the Cyberverse line, otherwise known as the Mixed Bag. So, in the Scout class, we have Shadow Striker and Ratchet. In the One-Step Changer class, we have Optimus, Bumblebee, Megatron, Wheeljack, Hot Rod, and Prowl. We then have the Warrior class, which is Hot Rod, Prowl, and Soundwave, Ultimate Bumblebee, and finally Ultra class, Optimus Prime, and Slipstream. Does Slipstream have a propeller, or am I seeing things?
It seems like it, and I don't know what fucking purpose that's meant to serve.
She's a jet.
Ah, but what if she lands in the water?
Then she's drowning.
Not if she has a propeller on her back, Mikey.
But how will she steer?
What do you mean steer? Mikey, where we're going, we don't need steering.
She's just going in a straight line to try and get enough lift to go up in the air.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So yeah, these all have different features. Shadow Striker.
This is the small one, the Scout class, right?
Yeah, so Shadow Striker's gimmick seems to be she shoots out two little... So her transformation appears to be lying down and hoping no one sees her head sticking up.
I don't think either her or Ratchet properly transform, right?
They're in that weird half line, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, basically, from her bum come fire.
And so man was warmed that night.
Yep. Ratchet, I think that's a little hook that flips up.
Looks yeah.
Soundwave has one I think is actually a legitimately neat gimmick, which is you pull down his chest and a pink laser beak shoots out.
But does it shoot all the way out, or does it just like
it's still attached?
Out?
It's still attached.
See that to me that's not as cool because it's just like Laserbeak's part of his internal organs and it's just pouring out through his chest before he like stuffs it back in, going oh no, why
are your guts a bird?
Yep.
Prowl has a very simple one, which is his shoulder cannons pop up.
That's okay. It's a bit boring, or whatever.
Hot Rod has, I think, some sort of like
chainsaw
blade thingies.
Yeah.
Optimus, he flips up an Autobot symbol in front of him so that, and then that can't work in robot mode.
That's not the Scout one, that Optimus Prime. That's a different one because there's two Optimus Primes. What's the other Optimus Prime that looks really shitty?
Oh god.
Attacker.
Why? Oh, he just sort of explodes.
Yeah.
No, that is the shit. I think that is the. I don't know because they both look quite. No, the one down below.
They're two different ones.
I thought that was Action Attacker.
Yeah.
And what's the one I was looking? Oh, they both say Action Attacker under them.
Oh, so they do. That's dumb.
I don't know
the same.
What they're both. No, it's one step. That has to be the one step.
Yeah.
That has to be the one step I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
So that would be the Ultra further down because it does look more complicated.
That makes that makes more sense. I mean, granted, it still doesn't make any sense why a giant Autobot insignia kind of slaps him on the face in car mode or truck mode. But yeah.
Yeah. Bumblebee has his stinger, which his arm becomes massively compromised because of it. Because, hey! And also like the ultimate one appears to just sort of have a gun. Megatron fires his cannon, which is surprising.
Can he bend his arm?
Andy, we'll get into that. Hot Rod has a saw. Optimus sort of has an axe. Firing missile from Wheeljack and more flippy uppy things from Prowl. Andy.
Mikey.
To say the Cyberverse line has not been collector friendly may be slightly of an understatement.
Perhaps.
Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Perhaps.
But as an adult collector,
yes.
A lonely man living in a house with no one to call a friend but the toys that watch him wank at night.
It's true.
I ask you for your opinion on these child-friendly toys.
I do not like them.
Do you like a 1?
What?
Do you like a 1?
Any of them? No. I think all of them are compromised too hard by the gimmicks. Horrendously compromised by the gimmicks. I think if you took or have taken out some of those gimmicks and put maybe a bit more money into them, just to raise up the quality of them a little bit more, give them a little bit more oomph to them, a bit more heft in places, A lot of these designs I could be interested in. I think the Soundwave looks interesting.
Yeah, I like a lot of the Cyberverse designs.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, who's the scout that you? Oh, Shadow Striker. Shadow Striker, I would definitely like if she wasn't horribly compromised. The Slipstream, if she wasn't horribly compromised, or if she had more articulation, and again a bit more money behind her. Yeah, same with the Mega. I'm gonna be repeating myself if I'm not too careful. But it's just I wish there was more oomph behind them.
We need a deluxe. We needed a deluxe line for these characters.
Yeah, not one compromised by gimmicks. Even if like the RID line, the deluxe, the warrior line as they called it, was not perfect.
Flawed.
Yeah, some of those figures were not good. Like Steeljaw had a myriad of issues to him, but then there were some decent figures in that line as well. Like I still wouldn't mind picking up the Bludgeon at some point in the future. And I think this line really could have done with that as well, because I'm not sure that every kid wants to have a gimmick forced into a toy of the character that they might want. Maybe they do. Maybe they do.
When you're paying a large volume of money, and once you're into the warrior class, you're paying a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
And you're seeing engineering things like the elbows work on one figure, but they don't work on another.
Yeah.
And that's something where, maybe you're putting, either you want all your toys to have a gimmick and you're not interested in one that has articulation, or you want your toys to be able to pose and you're not able to pose Hot Rod as cool as you can pose Shockwave.
Yeah.
I think, apparently the design team on the Cyberverse line are new. They're not they're not the people who worked in RID.
Right.
Or if they are the people who worked in RID, they're not the best of them. This feels like there was an edict to, okay, we need an action feature gimmick, and they kind of went nuts. And some quite nice designs are being compromised. Again, saying this as a grown-ass adult. Hey, when my niece is old enough, I'll give her one of these and see if she likes them.
Sure.
But I will say, Prowl and Soundwave look like they turned out the best. They seem more like Shockwave in that, yes, they've got a gimmick, but it's not one that massively hampers the robot mode, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like Shockwave, they also don't have real alt modes, but, Soundwave seems okay. But they do, they seem to have the basic 2 arms, 2 knees kind of thing. They clearly have independently moving legs, which I never thought I'd have to say was a positive in a toy line.
Oh, it's mad that's the thing.
Yeah. Prowl's head moves, at least. I don't know if Soundwave's does. This is not a line I think will have a long lifespan.
No, at least not for our age range. I mean, of course, there will be exceptions, and there might be listeners out there who are interested in these figures.
Of course.
And that's perfectly fine. But I think as a broader spectrum, I would be surprised if it does well with an older market.
Even with a young market, I think it will be very tied into the 1-year cycle.
Yeah, because weren't a lot of those gimmick toys just not, at least whenever I went into toy stores, there always seemed to be a lot of those figures in. And granted, maybe it's because I wasn't looking when they weren't in stock, but they always seemed to be there, especially do you remember with the Dinobots from the movies that had the gimmicks built into them? There always seemed to be a load of them in Toys R Us and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, who knows, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yep.
Mikey.
Yes.
Mikey.
Yes.
Mikey.
I am.
Siege.
No, you're not. Get out of my house. You can surround us all you want, but we will not break. We have food supplies for days. We're like England after Brexit.
Yay!
You're all going to starve.
We have War for Cybertron Siege figures. The Decepticons have finally been shown off. Finally. So we get a myriad of different ones to go through. So for the Battle Masters, we have Blowpipe, which we've talked about. We also were shown Aimless, which I think was the first time they showed off Aimless.
Yes.
I think, yeah. They also showed for the Micromasters the Airstrike Patrol with 2 of the members. I won't bother with the names. It was the Black Jet and the Purple Jet.
One of them is Vanquish.
No one cares. No one cares.
I remember because there was a big kerfuffle in IDW when there were 2 Vanquishes at one point.
Okay. And when I say no one cares, I mean no one cares about their names, because I'm quite excited for them as individual robots to buy.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Micromasters. I like them. I can't be bothered to learn their names.
Hey,
At
it's
all.
almost like... But Andy, there was a comic. They had a comic.
No, they didn't.
They did have a comic.
No.
It was Micromasters had a comic.
No, they didn't. Didn't exist. Nope.
Yeah.
There also is the Soundwave Spy Patrol, which
No
is...
one cares who they are.
It's a Ravage and a Laserbeak, which isn't a huge shock. I wouldn't say it's disappointing, but I'm like, oh, that could have been a Micromasters, but you know, it makes sense because hey, well, there's a shock, a sound wave, so we'll talk about that. Deluxe wise, we have Skytread, 2 alt modes, Refractor, which are reflectors basically, which turn into a thing. We'll call it.
Hang on, it's John Warden did a whole thing about this.
Oh, did he?
A Cybertronian artillery hovercraft vehicle.
A thing. I'm sticking with a thing. And if you buy 3, I say this, I'm sure people know. You buy 3 of them, they make the reflector camera. And the stand for reflector as well, which is neat. There's also Brunt, who is the weaponizer. I'm not going to do
Grand Nagus Brunt?
No, Grand Nagus Brunt. No, it was acting Grand Nagus Brunt. Acting Grand Nagus Brunt. And then it was FCA X. FCA
Yeah.
Brunt. I love Brunt. And then Voyages, I think this is maybe the least interesting in a character sense. There's Megatron, there's Soundwave, there's Starscream, which is a Tetrajet, and leader-wise, there's a Shockwave. So,
the Shockwave.
Let's go through these baby boys, each one at a time. Aimless and Misfire. Do you have... Blowpipe and Aimless. Do you have anything to say about those two?
I think they're neat. I think they look fun. Very simple target masters. I like their effect parts. I'm getting more and more into the effect parts in this thing, actually, I have to admit. When Hasbro did their display and they had them all like done up with them, it's just like, okay, it's turning out fairly well.
Yeah.
But no, I think they're really nice. Obviously, Aimless, nice little partner for your Misfire.
And is a different mold. See, it looks different from the one that comes with the Japanese one.
Yep. So all in all, I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I don't have much to say on them. They're all right. Yeah. More of them is good. Micromasters, the Air Patrol, Mikey. The Air Strike Patrol, my bad.
I am amused they turned into the Star Saber.
I was very amused and also annoyed at the same time. Why annoyed? Because I was reminded of that show. Motherfucker.
Yeah, they look pretty... I think the Micromasters as a whole are turning out pretty damn well in this line.
Yeah, granted, these jets have a lot of undercarriage, but so do larger scale Transformers in this day and age.
So does your mum.
So... Oh, goddamn, Mikey. Goddamn.
That mum of yours, she got some undercarriage, boy.
Here's a question, if you remember them. Do you think they picked the best ones from that group? Because one of them was basically a Rattler from G.I. Joe, who's pretty neat. And Bugger Me Sideways, who was the other one? The other one was a Grey Jet. I think they almost... Because I would have liked the Rattler, but these are both good. They left out the boring one.
I think they picked the most complementary colors for what they're going for.
Certainly, yeah. I would agree with that. Okay. Soundwave's Boys. One with the Laserbeak, who is an amalgamation between that one time in G1 where he had a weird not bird head, but they've given him a weird bird body instead of going all in and making him that weird UFO shape.
I kind of wish he was that. In fact, I really wish he was that.
I mean, he kind of should be that, especially since they gave him that non-bird head.
Yeah,
it's not like this is horseshit, burn down Hasbro. No. But you kind of go, well, if you gave him the head and it is War for Cybertron, go all in.
I'm sure it's doable as well.
Yeah, agreed. What do you think of the two of them? Because I mean, there's not much to Laserbeak.
No,
you look at the CG model and you can pretty easily figure out how he do his do.
They have that little bit of stylization that I like to both of them. I think Laserbeak is an interesting idea. Like I said, I'd prefer if it was just because it's a weird looking mode. Yeah, I would have preferred the cartoon one. Ravage is quite chunky. He's a chunky monkey, but I kind of dig that. I'm amused by one of the ways they interact with Soundwave.
Oh, yes.
Which is you can put them into the combat system ports.
Yeah.
Yes. And basically you can have 2 big blocks hanging off of their arm or shoulder, which I just like, Ravage, Laserbeak, eject. What do you want us to do, boss? Defend me! And turn Ravage into a buckler.
It almost reminds me of the boss from Metal Gear Revengeance.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, the guy who puts the big shields in front of himself. Yeah.
God, he was a bitch if he couldn't get the timing right.
Oh my god, worst guy. One of the worst guys. Yeah, it feels like they do this because he has the ports there.
Yeah.
More so than they were, like...
They wanted something that they could interact across the line.
Yeah, but it feels like it was just kind of tacked on.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows that you'll never use them for this, but it's like, put them there just for the sake of it, in a sense, because they have to interact.
There's one person standing there desperate to display them like this.
Because it looks so good.
He's gonna like army build cassettes and
stick them on every
shield.
port. That would be really weird to have like an armored series and they're all just cassettes.
Yeah.
Very odd. Okay, well, Skytread. Which one's Skytread?
Flywheels.
Oh, Flywheels. Oh, it's because he has a stupid name. Skytread. Yeah, Flywheels. Okay. What do you think of Flywheels, Mikey?
He's probably the deluxe I like second best.
Okay.
I think it's really cool they went with the 2-vehicle thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be taller than Battletrap.
I think that's a shame. I do think that's a shame, because I personally would have liked them to interact with each other. It's not like this is the worst thing ever. It's just like what a bummer.
But it'd be like, it's not going to be like it's his baby brother. It's just going to be like one of you ate all your iron when you're growing up and one of you didn't.
Yep.
One of you had meat and one of you had vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Bad things happen when you choose the wrong one.
Yep.
If you don't get that reference, I don't know why I bother with you. But yeah, it's neat. I like it. I think the jet mode's hilarious, but jet modes usually are. And also, one thing I do like, his color scheme in particular makes it really hard to fuck up with that bloody dry brushing.
No, that's true. He is quite dark anyway, so...
So, like, I'm just looking now, and there's very little on him, if there's any. Or maybe it's in...
Right?
I'm sure it is. Like, oh, there we have. We have a little bit on the side of the treads on the tank.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? That's fine. I think that works.
They could add more, to be fair.
They could add more.
I hope they don't.
They could add more. If they did it properly, they would carefully think about what looks best.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could do perhaps what they did with other figures, and once they got to a certain size range, just start hurling brushes at things, just like, everything is dry brushed. We'll talk about that in a moment. But no,
I like to imagine that what they do is they get a fan, they attach paint brushes to the fan, turn it on, and just hold the figure up next to it, and just slaps it on.
Yeah. Or oh god, someone's just got one of those air brushes. Spraying everything. That's the sound they make. But yeah, I think he's turned out pretty well. What do you think?
I'm not super thrilled on him. I mean, he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. I'm just not the biggest like Flywheels kind of fan. So I look at him and go, yeah, that's Flywheels. He looks fun enough. But
Scavenger collectors, I think, will finally be happy because I think
certainly,
apart from Crankcase and Fulcrum, they're done. Well, Nickel and Grimlock, but they don't count.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Yeah, because we've got Croc, we've got Misfire. Yeah, we've got Grimlock.
Yeah.
Grinding teeth, but you got Grimlock. Yeah.
We got Nickel.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We got Nickel from Mastermind coming. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Flywheels. He okay. He fine.
He okay.
What about Mr. Mikey, young Refractor, who turns into a thing?
I have mixed feelings.
What are your feelings?
The alt mode is, it's certainly it is one of the more Cybertronian alt modes in the deluxe scale, in that it's a nothing.
Yes.
And the robot, I think just because of his extra mode, which is which we'll talk about in a sec, I think they were conservative again with the dry brushing.
Right. Yes.
Because it would look very odd to have that dry brush. And I think the robot mode looks good.
Yeah, he looks like he should do.
Yeah, and I think the camera looks good.
Yeah. It's not a bummer, but it would have been nice if there was the flash thing that you could stick on.
Yeah. I have a few problems with how to make the camera.
Why is that?
Now, I realize I realize this is not an issue for many people, and it's an extra feature I do not even remotely have to engage with. I can have my Cybertronian hovering nothing gun.
What monster would only want one refractor?
Here's the thing. These 3 toys are going to be identical.
Oh god, yeah. Without
which
a
means
doubt.
if I want that camera mode, which I do like,
Yep.
I'm going to have to buy the same toy with no changes 3 times.
60 quid.
Minimum. Here it's €23 at the moment for Generations Deluxe.
Woof.
And for context, what they do when they're translating it over to Ireland and the UK, guys, is they take the US number and they change the symbol in front of the numbers from dollars to pounds or euros.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, our money is more expensive than yours. So basically, think about it like someone was asking you to pay $30 for a deluxe.
Woo!
$30 US. That's kind of the realm we move in at the moment.
Yeah.
And I can't justify that on any given level without... I'd need at least different head sculpts. There's 3. There's Viewfinder, Spectro, and the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think the other guy might actually be Reflector. I don't know. I don't know the trio very well. Like, you're doing effects parts. Why not include just for this guy? Just for this guy, and you're being so gimmicky in every other way with this line at the deluxe scale. An extra head.
At least different expressions.
Yeah.
Something.
Or just something.
Because I don't mind them being the same in essence because that's what they were in the cartoon. And I suppose it depends what you would want. Do you want the toy version or do you want the cartoon version? As people know, I'm always for the toy. For the cartoon version. I almost think it's weird that they've gone for the cartoon version because they so heavily, for the most part, go with the toy version.
I would be very happy to have at least one toon version of Reflector in here because I like that design. But there are 2 other guys involved in here, and you're asking me to spend €70 thereabouts to get the 3 of them.
Give or take, yeah. It is a lot. It is a lot to ask. I think that's something that not a lot of people have talked about as far as I'm aware. Like when I've seen people talk about this stuff, they're obviously concerned about how easy is it going to be to get this figure. Is it going to be 1 refractor per wave, or is there going to actually be 2? Thing. And even then, like 2 is not going to supply people who are wanting 3. You know, that's if there's only 2 per wave, one person is going to have to get an entire wave plus half of another one to get the team of 3. But like you said, Mikey, you know, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
On top of
even
that,
in America, it's still a decent amount of dollars.
Yeah. I don't blame him. I don't know how. The only other way I think you could have done this is done them in like a 3-pack or something.
Yeah, and they don't sell that well at the moment.
No.
So you can understand them not doing it.
Yeah,
and trying to sell a 3-pack of, hey, buy this toy 3 times, there's a gimmick in there.
Yeah. At least with this, you can sell to the one to the kid. They'll be happy enough with that. It's a strange thing. Very strange.
Yeah.
Brunt Mikey, the tank for Triptychon. At least the bits from Triptychon to make this weird extra tank thingy.
Yes.
Looks like one of the big robot dudes from the IDW comic Stormbringer people mentioned. And I went, oh, yes, I can see that.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Identical, in fact, except the colors.
Yeah. What do you think?
He's my favorite toy of this whole reveal.
I think he's my second.
But again, minimal use of the dry brushing.
Yes, thank God.
Used in ways I think is clever.
Yep.
Like having it on the end, at the front of the treads, but where he gets shot and where his fingers are, which means it's where most of the wear goes.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He's got an interesting original design. He looks like he's got great articulation. He's got a fun gimmick, whereby he explodes into basically Kamen Rider Bert's arm system.
I saw you say that on Twitter.
You can give him a claw mode, which I love.
Yeah.
Like I saw one of the displays, and just like his one arm is just a giant claw. And I'm just like, yes, crush your arm. You know, we also get Red Alert revealed here. Sneak reveal. I don't care. But Sideswipe is not one I'm excited for.
No.
And Red Alert is the Sideswipe for poor people.
God damn,
emotionally
Mikey.
Poor, soul poor, intellectually poor.
Damn.
But yeah, I really like him. He's one I'm going to be looking out for.
I think it's funny how his head doesn't really hide away.
Oh no, but like,
it's not a complaint.
Funny,
it's fun.
You know? At least it's funny. It's not. It doesn't feel like a give up moment. It's like
no.
Oh.
No. I think this looks like it's more, at least visually interesting and more. There's more design chops behind this than there was for. Was it COG?
Ye-
Before Max one. That one.
It might be called COG. I don't know. Yeah. Because I'm thinking Six Guns, but he hasn't been revealed yet.
Yeah. Whatever that one was. I think this is a much better version than that. It looks like a more interesting figure. It's got a better design. It looks like it's more hefty as well, which is always a plus.
Yeah.
I think it's good. It's entertaining. I'd be interested to see if they do who they do him into, because I've seen some people digibash him into like Armada Tankor, and I was like, oh yeah, that worked. Some people did
Demolisher. Do you mean?
Sorry, Demolisher. Yes, I saw some people do him into Impactor, and I thought that's okay, but I don't think they do Impactor just on the basis that this one's purple, that one's purple. So maybe not. But what could they do him into might be quite interesting. Maybe Tankor from Beast Wars, because that could work as well. Beast Machine, sorry, that could work easily.
Another guy who finds another one of those little partner vehicle characters from the old days. Yeah, that never had a robot mode. Because I love the fact that this guy goes with Trypticon, which means he adds a bit of play value to a pretty neat figure.
I wonder how. Or if he can interact, like, can his separated pieces plug onto Trypticon's base mode at all?
That would be cool.
Yeah, I don't know it would, and I don't know how it would interact to it.
You need holes and pegs, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it might be possible. It might be a thing. So we'll move on to the Voyagers, Mikey, with young Megalodon, another Megatron figure.
Yep. I'm tired of the G1 aesthetic.
We've said this a lot.
Before I go into the toy, because I think there's a lot to praise about the toy, I am one of the growing voices of dissent, because especially with Optimus, Megatron, at least there's some variants, some small variants, but Optimus, like, you're basically getting the same robot mode in 2 lines with better engineering, and I'm kind of getting, like, I miss original takes on these characters, whether it's classics or Prime or animated or universe or whatever, or Armada even. I didn't like Armada Megatron's design. I still don't.
It's different though.
It is certainly different. I miss when I saw a creator not try. This is a case of the creators. It feels to me being handed character model and say, make that a toy. Whereas I want to see. Okay, we want to do a Megatron. I want to see your take on it. I want to see how you design him. I think this line is actually good because it's setting up engineering principles that could be carried on to a more stylized line. But between this, the hint of G1 in the movies, Evergreen, I am very much running out of steam on this whole concept. Although I will say, at least they're not doing what Titan's Return did at the tail end, which is what if we did the G1 toy but with joints? Yes, yeah. That pissed me off. These are what if we did the character model, but it could transform. But so that's my negative, and I'm not going to go into it any further. The base engineering on this thing, I think, is pretty cool.
Have you seen how it transforms? Because I don't know what the base. Is this you just assuming from looking at the pictures?
Just the transformation looks interesting, but I'm thinking about more the articulation engineering in the robot. Right. Because they've worked in ankle tilts. He looks like he's got a waist swivel. He might have a wrist swivel. I'm not 100% sure.
Aren't these posted to be the most they focused heavily on making them as articulated as possible, I think was one of the things they said.
And between it and Optimus as well, both of them look really heavy on the articulation for a Voyager toy. And I'm pretty impressed. I think the base design here is nice. I think it's a nice take on G1 Megatron, biases aside. I like the tank mode. It's hilariously not even remotely Cybertronian. And someone said on Twitter, this is the first time we got G1 with weird paint and a cool Cybertronian alt mode. And I'm just like, I feel you may be stretching a few things here because I can count 3 G1 Megatrons in the last 3 lines. Yeah. But yeah, I think this guy turned out fairly well in design. I like his weapon. I like the idea of having his tank, like his fusion cannon forms the middle of the turret, which is a weird idea. And then the gun becomes a sniper rifle, which you can attach swords onto, and it becomes the classic G1 blade. I think that's all neat. Where this guy falls down for me is the paint. Okay. Because have you seen the physical? of him.
The dirty boy Megatron. Yes, I've
The
seen
one
Dirty
that
Boy.
looked like before he was supposed to go on display, he was playing in the mud and no one cleaned him up.
Oh, I described it as somebody sneezed with the paintbrush.
So especially on the Voyagers Up, it seemed they took the opposite approach to the deluxes, where it was sparing. Optimus, we can't mess Optimus too much. Do his thighs. Here, get all of them.
Yeah,
Brown everywhere.
They went dick deep.
They went hella dick deep, and it is very distracting to me. Like, I don't mind it. Like, the battle damage on his thighs, I actually don't mind that. And if we had sort of this kind of gray, the idea is to make it look like his paint is chipping away. And you could have had that. And honestly, I think you could have used that copiously on Megatron. And it could have worked. Like, it could even give his face the appearance of having scars. But not brown. Not mud brown covering his face and boobs.
No.
So
and not even in dynamic ways, just like drips.
Yeah, I mean, even in the CAD model, these are CAD models. But there's one on his chin, and it just looks like he's got a really bad spot.
Yeah.
So I really hope these areas have no important paint work, because I would be tempted to go in with some paint remover. And get rid of these.
Yeah, like at least the ones on his arm and the chest, as long as you avoid the Decepticon insignia, they're easy enough to get rid of. I would imagine that the shins are going to be molded in black plastic, so hopefully that'll be easier to scrub as well.
But again, it looks better there. But then again, it looked better here than it did in physical, where it was much browner.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea.
See, I'm not too fond of the proportions on Megatron.
How so?
I feel that the size of his head looks a bit big and plump, like a big old pumpkin on top of his shoulders, and his chest feels very wide. And I'm sure that's for to make the transformation and the alt mode work as they do. But he just feels like he's being stretched a little bit in the wrong axis. It doesn't help, granted, that in the display models of the actual toy, they didn't transform him right, and his head sinking slowly into the abyss that is his chest.
He's a shame.
Sink your head in shame, Megatron.
You see nothing?
I might be tempted by it, and that's only because I didn't get the superior Mare Megatron version from the Japanese line. That would be the only reason why I'd at least consider it, but I don't think I'd want to pay the full quick for it. It would definitely be more of a sale transformer than anything else. But then again, Mikey, I'll be honest, this entire line, I'm like, man,
sale.
Japan.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
I'm thinking,
Wouldn't
man, because they wouldn't put the gubbins of the poop on it. They wouldn't do it.
Or if they did it, they'd do it better.
More than likely. Arguably.
But hey, Andy.
Hey.
Brand unity.
Get fucked.
Come on, legends.
Yeah, come on, Japan. Say fuck to America.
Yeah, you do it for everything else.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not overly wowed by Megatron, but yeah, for a sale, probably. Mikey, Soundwave. Soundwave who transforms into nothing.
He's
nothing.
A hovercraft.
He's
a
not.
Hover security. What is it? A Cybertronian patrol hovercraft with a docking bay.
I would, from my perspective, he turns into less of a thing than Refractor does.
He also turns into a lamp.
Yes, the lamppost. I think that's fine. That's a nice nod to what he did back in the cartoon. But
can I reveal a secret?
If you must.
All Soundwaves can turn into a lamp.
No, they can't.
You put the head away,
no.
You stick the arms out, and you hold the legs together. He is the lamp.
In a non-jokey way, I can think of a Soundwave that doesn't do that.
What is the Soundwave that doesn't do? If you say the crocodile.
No. The Machine Wars one.
I bet I could make that into a lamp.
I would be really impressed since he doesn't have outward arm movement. He's the stalker figure.
So it's a lamp that the lights are pointing forward.
So what, you just fold his head down?
Yeah.
Lamppost. Done. Bobbins. I really don't like Soundwave's alt mode. I really think it's poop. I hope there's a fan, because when I saw this originally, my thought was this is a fan mode, and the secret thing that they're not telling you is he can become a cassette player, because this doesn't look like anything.
Yeah. Well, like, this looks like we want Soundwave to have a vehicle mode, but he has to look like the G1 model.
Yeah, I can see that.
And ergo, because you know what I would have done?
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone's saying, okay, do War for Cybertron Soundwave, Cybertronian truck. Every version of that design I've seen, I've liked.
Yeah.
And he'd still look like Soundwave in robot mode. He'd just be a truck.
Mm-hmm.
But you wanted to do the G1 alt mode, but you don't want to have him turn into a boombox.
No.
Because Cybertronian boomboxes were probably relatively rare.
But here's the thing, they in like
or tape recorders, I should say.
War for Cybertron, they had him transform into a fucking boombox in that video game. They didn't care.
I thought of that as well.
Yeah.
But it's also the fact, from what I can see, he does not look like he stands very well unless he's got a little.
You mean the toy?
Yeah, unless he's not in vehicle mode.
Oh right, okay, yeah, because it doesn't look like
ex-
there's enough flat surface for him.
Maybe there's a little extra leg down there, but
Me.
I don't. I mean, it's Cybertronian. It is Cybertron. It is not just a car.
Yes.
It's not just a truck that you'd see on the street. It is a flying brick.
Yes.
And hey, by docking station, do you mean put them back in his chest?
Oh, is that yeah? Because he doesn't eject them, does he?
No.
Docking station.
Yeah.
Weird.
You're better than this, man.
It's a shame
because mode design. You're better than this.
The robot mode looks, apart from the overly excessive dry brushing and smashed window screen, I think the robot mode looks good. I mean, he feels very much like a masterpiece toy.
Yeah, and you know that's an argument for a lot of these things that people saying an affordable masterpiece line.
Yeah.
Or Masterpiece style, give you what you want for Masterpiece for an affordable price. I like the fact he's got a finger sculpted to make it look like he's pushing buttons.
That's nice. I like that. That's an extra touch.
Yeah. I think overall he looks solid enough. The yellow eyes are a bit weird. I get why they're doing it, but also he's cartoon model Soundwave, so shouldn't they be red?
It's such. I've
never liked the yellow eyes. I'm just saying that now.
I don't think Soundwave works well with yellow eyes. I think since you've decided, especially with Refractor, to go with the cartoon red eyes. Why are we hovering around this weird, like, he must be looking like the toy version when we're not making him look like the toy version?
No.
It's a strange choice that doesn't jive with me, but again, might jive with other people, I guess.
Maybe. Again, looks articulated.
Yes, very.
Yeah. All positive there. The chest. Again, they went nuts on the dry brushing. They went insane. But the chest is kind of the big talking point.
Are a lot of people against it?
I've seen people defend it, and I've seen people stretch to defend it.
Okay.
And I've seen people hate it. I have seen no people be a bit about it because they did kind of go to town on that one.
It is very Marmite of a choice, I think. I think repro labels are just looking at that, licking their proverbial lips going, we'll fix this, don't you worry, guys. It won't be translucent, but we'll sort of sticker out to slap over the top.
Yeah.
I think if I was going to get that Soundwave and I couldn't fix it myself, a sticker would be what I'd want. Would you be the same, Mikey?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
I think I would. I would take one to turn them into the dance studio over that.
Yeah, because you like fun.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else on Shockwave, Mikey, or should we talk about Starscream?
Starscream!
All right, Starscream, who Mr. Jai very rightly pointed out is Battlestar Galactica jet style.
Yep.
Which I think looks... I actually like it a little bit more than a usual Tetrajet. He's also not pointy, so you can't worry about the kids like killing themselves with pointy jet thing. So that's a plus.
You're ruining it for me.
Why?
Because I want the children to die.
Obviously. Oh, my bad.
I like the profile of the Tetrajet parts.
Is this before you see all the leg underneath?
You mean him?
Well,
because from what I've seen and examining, there is some transformation going on here. There's some rotation, there's some flips. I think shell former may not be an unkind thing to place upon this toy.
I think I would be more okay with it if he didn't have his chest hanging out on the back very visibly.
I think the idea of like, oh look, turbines.
No.
I think that's the idea. And like maybe
that is a
you can
poor
pretend
idea.
maybe there's a fuel. He's got a big yellow fuel thing in the middle.
I can see what you're saying, and you're making a logical argument for what they may or may not be thinking, but no, it looks silly because I know what that is. You know what that is. Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Also, like he is living undercarriage. It's hilarious.
He is.
I'm sure they'll look nice in Thundercracker.
He has
colors.
a lot of molded detail on him as well.
Yes, rather ridiculously large amounts, all things considered.
Like very distracting seemingly compared to the other ones. Seemingly.
Yeah, there feels like at least some of the design seems are going in different directions.
I say that, but I'm looking at Soundwave. Soundwave's got a lot on his forearms. I think maybe with Soundwave, a lot of the color that they used on him is absorbing it through the pictures, so you don't notice it as much. So maybe
plus
that's not as fair.
He doesn't have two big, broad pieces of plastic sticking out of his back to draw your eye.
Yeah, Megatron's certainly a lot smoother, at least than Starscream is. Certainly.
Smooth like a baby hand.
Starscream's one of my least favorite that was shown, I think.
Yeah, I think the robot mode's pretty boring and standard, and it doesn't look like it does anything crazy.
No.
And it's got some aesthetic problems. I'm not crazy. Like, in terms of the design, like, those pylons are way too tall.
They are very tall, yeah.
And, yeah, I'm just, like, the Tetrajet, I think if you could somehow get the bits at the bottom to go inside the bits at the top, I'd be more interested in the Tetrajet.
Yeah, especially since, as you're assuming he's a bit of a shell former, it's a shame that he doesn't shell more of his form.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, I do like the general aesthetic of the jet mode, but yeah, like you say, the legs and arms are hanging out there, and it is. You can expect that with Jet, but if he is, because we don't know, he might have a more complicated transformation than it seems. But it seems like he might be basic. So and I guess we can talk about, because I think we're onto it now. Yes, we're onto my favorite one, which is Shockwave.
I have what?
I really like this Shockwave.
I think the vehicle mode's awesome.
Yes, it's very, very Japanese battleship Yamato style, or any of the other kind of Japanese anime style spaceships, I suppose.
But it doesn't look like an upside down gun so much.
No, I hear that you can put him into an upside down submarine form if you wish.
Then how is he going to be in the water if he's upside down?
Don't worry about it.
But he needs to be the right. You can't. Submarines have to be one way up.
I'm putting my hand on your shoulder, Mikey. I'm putting the cloth up to your mouth, and I'm saying, don't worry about it. It's gonna be over before you know it. No. Go to sleep.
All right.
There you go.
No, it's cool. I like it. I think it's a very interesting way to approach the transformation. To give him that gun look without making him a gun as well.
Yeah, and it's a Cybertronian ship mode that looks like a ship, I would think.
It's got ports and stuff that make it look like people could sit.
Yes. His feet look like they're very untransformed at the bottom of it, though, unfortunately, but
needs must.
Yeah.
The robot mode is excellent.
Which one?
I can't. The main one. We'll
right.
talk about the other one. But the main one, he's got a smash glass thing as well, but it doesn't look like his robot mode has as much of the chip paint stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's like some sort of hover surfboard he's riding on.
God, I hope so. I hope it's sentient.
Oh my god, yes. People were like, I think people were complaining because why isn't that integrated? I'm just like, because he's riding, it's Shockwave on a space surfboard.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, it's an extra play feature. It's something for him to interact with. As a kid, you could say the battle armor disengages from Shockwave and he uses it as a drone to attack dudes.
Yeah.
Because Shockwave doesn't stand to me as someone who would actively, directly fight someone. He'd be more like throw some shit at you first and then be like, oh, well, I guess I have to help now.
Yeah, leaving us with the battle armor, which is a different approach to Ultra Magnus.
It is.
And I can only assume the fictional reason is he traveled to an alternate dimension, murdered another Shockwave, turned them into a hoverboard and into a Megazord. Because he is 100% a 2010 to 2018 style final combination Megazord.
Yeah, I can see that. I looked at him as the giant battleship Macross, that thing.
But he's got extra tiny arms.
He does.
Andy,
I know.
which appear to be coming out of his own feet.
Yep.
And then he has feet which are just standing on little blocks like a Megazord.
Yep. Like Starsaber before him, he puts on those lovely slippers.
But his are guns, and
Yep. He's got
if he
gun
fires,
slippers.
he's going to fall down. I want to see that. He's like opening fire, his feet just shoot out, and he's just like, Jesus! Flat in his face. I wanted to hate this. There was a part of me that wanted to. I can hate this.
I initially did until I saw that the armor was removable, and then you had the option of having this very strange, unique looking Shockwave, or having a normal one.
Yeah, but this kicks Ultra Magnus's ass.
I think visually it's much more interesting.
Yeah, like, oh look, White Optimus turns into Ultra Magnus.
Yeah.
I've seen that before. Shockwave turns into behold my extra rotating arms of death.
Yeah. The only the only concern I have is Shockwave does have his cable go into his main arm.
I was thinking that.
I wonder how pliable that is going to be and how long-lasting it's going to be. Because, you move that arm around, that cable's going to move around. If it's a good quality plastic, it'll last forever. But
yep.
I'd almost kind of wish it was detachable as well, so you could unplug it in case you're scared like me of the future.
Maybe it is.
Maybe. We don't know. They chose a purple of the toy, which again I'm not a fan of. I would have preferred a little bit of a lighter Shockwave, but I'm interested in this. He is going to go for leader prices, so he is going to be a bit more of a harder pill to swallow. And I heard
they showed him highly articulated as well, because they showed him next to the "We Are All Dead," and they put him in the same pose.
Oh, okay.
So,
I saw some people complain that they don't want to pay. They don't want the battle armor Shockwave, and since they'd be buying a Voyager figure and then be forced to buy this battle armor, they wouldn't be too happy. I'm like, well, too bad.
Listen, I have had to sit through your G1 nonsense for all of this. Let me have this.
Yeah, it's something different. You still get the Shockwave, so
yeah, it's in there. Like, you don't have to play with the other bit.
Yeah,
like, maybe you can just pretend. Pretend with your toys.
Oh. No, I'm interested. Overall, I won't say I was super amazed by everything that was shown. I was just like, yeah, okay. And I think that's mainly because it is, for the most part, a very standard cast of characters that they're releasing. Ones that both me and you have mentioned that we're not happy that this is happening a lot in just third party, but it does happen now a lot in the main line as well. I mean, it always has, but there's only so many times you can be excited for a Megatron that looks like G1 Megatron, or a Soundwave that looks like G1 Soundwave, as you've mentioned.
You're Becca.
Well, yeah. You gotta love them Megatrons.
She has a problem.
A glorious problem. Do you have any other thoughts then on these things, Mikey?
It's a mixed bag, but there are a couple of things in there I think are pretty cool.
Yeah. Stronger than the Autobot overall?
Yeah, actually, because I think because the Decepticons were always a bit more violent in their alt mode, they're not as restricted. Because what they're trying to do with the Autobots is do these Earth mode robot modes that have Earth mode cars. And most of those guys don't have a traditional G1 equivalent of an alt mode to factor in. Like these guys did better than Sideswipe and Optimus, definitely. And like you said, Brunt is superior to Cog.
Yep.
The Micromasters, I think, across the board are turning out pretty neat.
Oh, they're all good, yeah.
And the Weaponizers, again, across the board, I've got no real complaints anymore. I had a few early on, but I've gotten over them. And yeah, I'm really getting into the effects parts. This is, I'll be honest, as long as this line has a release schedule, even if they never announced another wave, it's already beaten Power of the Primes.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
We just got to hope the distribution on these is good, and good luck getting yourself a refractor and all of three of them.
Enjoy.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah. Mikey, do you want to take us on to our last bit of news, and we can close up the podcast?
Yeah, Transformers artist Josh Perez is going to be attending TFCon 2018. Josh Perez, recently interviewed by Playboy magazine. Josh Perez,
Really?
I believe, yes. Apparently he knows somebody who works there, and they wanted to talk about Bumblebee. So who else do you ask?
Well, he does love Bumblebee. Good for Josh. Yeah.
But yeah, so if you want to meet a sinister man, he will be at TFCon Chicago. He'll be attending all weekend, offering prints and commissions and such. He does do art as well as coloring, guys. So it's going to be, of course, in Chicago, Illinois, the October 26th to 2018. So it is just around the corner. Crown Plaza, Chicago O'Hare Hotel and Conference Center in Rosemont. He'll be joining Bud Davis, the voice of G1 Dirge, Metroplex, and Predaking. Stephen Keener, who did Fort Max, Hardhead, Hunger, Mindbite, Scattershot, and Scorponok. Ian James Corlett, voice of Cheetor and Goku. Alex Willows, who did Tarantulas. Flint Dilley, who wrote loads of stuff and story edited, and basically is the reason you have Transformers as it is. Aaron Archer, a man who made toys. James Roberts, a man who has too many toys and keeps on trying to sell them online. Kay Zama, Rock God. Alex Milne, Ginger Bear. Sarah Prieta Durocher. I don't know anything funny except the fact I can't say her name. Casey Collar, he uses the ruler. Ken Christian, he did design stuff. And Josh Burcham, not Josh Perez. More to be announced. Woo! Advance tickets are still on sale. You're probably going to be struggling to get a hotel room right now on the hotel block, but give it a go.
I'm surprised you actually said they've still got more to announce, because it's right around the corner now.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, TFCon, find Vangelis and play Transformers with him. Just Transformers card game. And don't let Aaron be a judge, because by the sounds of the most recent TFW, he's going to be a harsh one and not a fair one.
Those boys are into their fucking cards.
They are, I don't know, it's nice. It's nice they have other toys.
If I was their parents and I walked into their room and they were talking about tapping, I'd be like, are you on the drugs? Talking about the tappings?
No. You go in, what have you been doing? I was taking the drugs, Mom. Don't lie to me.
You were playing magic, weren't you, you little shit?
I saw, is that mana?
Is that a booster pack, you fuck?
I told you, by God, I would have no mana in my thing. It's not, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! I swear it's Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a trap card! It's a trap card!
Don't you try and meme me, boy.
Does that dice have more than 6 sides? Oh, Mom, please stop hitting me. All I've got is a notebook. You could use the app. It's unreliable.
Is it?
Apparently. What I'm told, both from listening to Vangelis and from Mr. PC, don't just use the dice or use a notepad. It's just more trouble than it's worth to try keeping score digitally on these things.
Oh, weird. All right, cool. Well, Mr. Mikey, I guess we can finally move on to what have we been up to this week. So I'm going to ask you in your face, what have they been up to this week?
Not my fight. Why do I just got a message randomly. Just talking to a girl with a fear of foreskin. I mean a phobia. Fear of the turtleneck.
Okay.
I
mean, what do you even say to that?
I don't know. But yeah, so I was going to have Fate Stay Night episode 1 watch before now.
Oh, Fate
but
Stay.
It was 40-minute long.
Oh, you mean Unlimited Blade Works?
No, Fate Stay Night.
What, the original version?
I was on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Fate Stay Night. Okay. Done. Okay, ready to go. 40 minutes. I've got 40 minutes. Oh, no, I don't have 40 minutes. I have half an hour. I planned for half an hour.
That has to be Unlimited Blade Works, because Unlimited Blade Works starts with
It's Fate Stay Night. And I actually checked Fate Stay Zero's one is on there for 40 minutes as an opening episode as well.
Yeah. I don't remember that being 40 minutes.
I think that might just be a thing. Maybe they're jamming a couple of episodes together as an intro, but
maybe, because I don't remember the Zero having 40-minute episodes to start off with. I could be wrong, even though I just watched it. I don't remember that episode being 40 minutes long.
Yeah, so I'll probably get Fate Stay Night episode 1 watched tonight, because I'm going to do it in order. I think.
Okay.
I decided to.
So you're going with the it's not UFO who did it. It's Christ, what are they called? It begins with a D. The Duncan. It's not the Duncan version. I'll find out and then I'll tell you.
Basically, it's adapted porn. I'm watching the softcore version of adapted porn. let's accept what I'm doing, not how I'm doing it.
Okay.
Like the time I bought porn for charity by accident. Remember that?
That was a good time. Studio Dean. That's it. Studio Dean. You're watching the Studio Dean version.
Cool.
I assume. If it's not, it needs to. Does it look old?
It looks sort of 2000s-y.
Yeah. That's what I mean by old. That's fine. You're starting off with the first one. That Studio Dean series it's fine. It's okay.
But I want to do it in order.
Okay.
Release order, rather. Like, I don't want to try... When you've got something with multiple timelines and multiple storylines and everything else, I do not even want to try, like, standard order.
Oh, it's easy enough. It would be 0. Then you could choose either the Dean series or Unlimited Blade Works. You'd probably go with Dean and then Unlimited Blade Works and then Heaven's Feel, and then you're done. I'm
already confused.
Really? I didn't give you that many options.
I'm already confused. Caught up in Cyberverse.
Oh, okay. What's that? Up to episode 6?
6, yeah. Megatron is my hero. Honestly, that show is better than I thought it was going to be. It's simple. It's not challenging in the least.
No.
But it's got, I think it's holding up. I think the things that are holding it back are things like some of the inexperience of some of the voice actors, and the fact that some of them are very much being told, pretend you're someone else.
Yeah, in terms of the story, I think Bumblebee is a bit of a holdback, but not within his own mind when he's not in his mind when he's actually being really stupid in the real world. I still find that really disconnecting, because he's quite an okay Bumblebee currently when he's inside his head or when he's in the past talking. It's when he's not doing that in the present that he's a little bit on the insufferable side. But I like everybody else. Everybody, I think that I have the same issues with you. Everybody sounds a bit. They're better than Machinima. That's for sure. I think they have better direction than Machinima. Yeah, but then their director has probably seen the sun. But it's still not at the level I would hope it would be. But I'm not. I don't hate it. I wish the episodes were longer as well. I wish they were full half-an-hour episodes to get a bit more of a story out. Some of the stories feel too condensed. Like nothing happens in them, in a sense.
Yeah, I think episode 6 feels like it could have benefited from a couple of extra parts.
Yeah, agreed.
Because it's like 3 different. It's basically one story broken into 3. But I thought it was oddly emotional. There was a nice little emotional ending to it.
Yeah.
That Bumblebee slightly ruined by taking the gag too far, but he means well. Also, there's a weird moment where Megatron goes, "Then there shall be war," and he does a muscle man pose.
Yeah, why?
Why you do that, Megatron?
Yeah, that's it. They threw off the scene and the tension. Like, if you'd gone for a low-angle scene with, really shadowy-looking Megatron when he said there will be war.
Or he leaned in.
Yeah, or he leaned in, something like that. Not Muscle Man pose. He's not Macho Man, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Odd choice.
Don't steal is ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that Cyberverse, honestly, I think if you've been avoiding it because of the kids show, it's engaging. It's a fun little show.
I have a question then for you, Mikey. Are you enjoying it? I mean, it's hard to say because it's been a while.
I'm enjoying it.
No, I haven't finished yet. It's hard to say because it's been a while since you've watched it. Are you enjoying it more than up to this point, which granted would only be 3 episodes, more than RAD?
Yes.
I think I would agree.
I hesitate not at all.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It also has better animation.
Yeah, and no humans, so that's a plus. You don't need to do that general story over and over again, which is a nice change.
Apart from that, episode 5 of Geo, which was the Forza episode.
Oh, yes.
It's a weird one. It's set up for a couple of things. It's also the first one where they clearly couldn't get the actor back. So they've got the teacher character from Forza as returning actor, but Gentaro's there, but there's a lot of back shots.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't do the really clever thing, which was using voice clips from Forza, like they did with Gaim when he couldn't make it back for a movie. So it's just a sound alike, and I hate it when they use sound alikes.
Oh no.
Yeah. But no, it's an okay episode. The Forza armor bit is hilarious. Also, it's directed by Sakamoto, so the action is pretty solid.
Oh, good.
There's a little bit of meaning to stuff that's going on in the show now. Like Gates is trying to figure out how he feels about Geo. Like, do I still kind of want to murder you?
Does he want to kiss him?
Yeah, it's getting. I think he's definitely leaning less on the kiss side.
Okay.
Yeah. And also the extra episode with this one was genuinely good.
Mm-hmm.
Because it delved into some trivia and fun stuff, like where the main character's name came from, which was just such a very clever pun, in my opinion. And there's a nice section where basically two of the characters go into selling one of the toys in like a "Hey, you're welcome to the shopping channel" kind of moment, you know, like with all the like this madness must ensue and price points and everything else zooming around the screen. It was great fun. So not a bad episode, honestly, for an early writer. Watch the first episode of Steins Gate Zero. I've decided I will continue watching. I will not stop to play the game. Based on something Tricky said and some of the reviews I was reading. What I'll do, I'll watch the show and then watch the extra endings from the game on YouTube. I'm into it. I can definitely see where you would be having some problems with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I am into the contrast, the very, very sharp contrast in some of the characters, and I'm just so emotionally invested into this world. It is a bit odd they're telling this specific story, considering this story only has significance in the periphery of Steins Gate. You're getting a very... I think what you're going to get is a very extended, heartbeat moment. Like, it's important to the series that this happens, but it's not important to the series that we have to see it. Is how I'm feeling right this second. And Siri, go away, I never use you. But like I'm saying that like I really got into the whole idea of Okabe not being Okabe, and it's kind of he's playing tennis, and he's meeting Ruka and Ferris, and they're acting like themselves, and he's just like he's clearly really uncomfortable. And then there's a moment, I won't tell you what happens in it, but he gets off a train, and he should have gotten back on the fucking train.
Right.
You don't pull that in Mayuri. Like, no. Also, I like her weird outfit. I don't know why Ferris is dressed as a giant cat.
Because that's what she do.
I like Mayuri's outfit. But she was a maid before.
Same
Granted,
thing.
the cat maid, but a maid.
Yeah.
She's just finally snapped. She just went, I'm wearing this forever. But yeah, you left Mayuri on a train. Get back on the fucking train.
Woo.
But like I said, it's a nice way of showing like he's pretty damn broken right now.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna enjoy watching it. I think I will be less critical than I would be because of how invested I am in this world. But
that's
anyway,
fine.
I'm definitely looking forward to the remake game if I can get a console in time to play it. Because it's bringing an entire other game with it for the first time, which I've watched, but I've never actually gone through. What else? Ooh, Thunderbolt Fantasy Season 2 has started.
Ooh. I mean, it sounds like all of the new anime is kind of kicked up about now. Lots of episode ones are popping up.
Yeah, but this was Thunderbolt Fantasy, man.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
It is exposition heavy. And it is unforgiving, so make sure you remember the basics about how it ended.
I don't. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Just read the episode guide.
Yeah.
Trust me. And, the problem with the names being written in Chinese letters and then pronounced in Japanese pronunciations is still there. So
oh no,
they're saying Shofukan and it's saying Xinjiang something. I can't speak Mandarin or Cantonese, so I don't know how to pronounce those words. But I'm just like, okay, I've had to disconnect in the first show. That's fine, but lots and lots of exposition and it's a bit slow. But it's setting up, and then at the end, I just had such a smile on my face.
Oh, good.
And there wasn't even that much action in this one. But there's someone comes in at the end, and I just start grinning. I'm just like, oh, I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah. Like
Thunderbolt Fantasy, man. One thing I will criticize it for, the intro, I see why they did it, but the intro is the action song. A remix of it, which is still in the show. They're still using that as the action song. And I just think the intro they had originally by TMJ, TMJ Revolution, I think they're called, was just way, way better.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I watched the intro and was like, I prefer the other intro. Yeah, at least the music.
Both in terms of the music and the editing. But, Steins Gate. I watched a weird, so these are, last two things are both in the same kind of realm, in anime-wise. I watched what is it? The Time I Turned Into a Slime
Okay.
and ReZero on one of Jai's recommendations. So only the first episode of both. ReZero, it's all out there, but it's just again it had a 40-minute opening. So they are both what we call isekai or parallel world animes,
Yes.
which are a rather popular genre.
Popular
There
genre.
are gems in there.
Yep.
You and I have a favorite in there.
Yeah.
It involves the worst goddess man ever knew.
Yep.
Konosuba. If you haven't seen it, go out there. But it is an overcrammed genre.
Oh my,
especially
yes.
in the last 2 or 3 years, especially now. In fact, I read yesterday that in a story competition they banned parallel world stories. They said no, we're not having any more.
No
Stop
more
making
of
them.
this bullshit.
Yeah, but anyway, so guy, 37-year-old virgin, living on his own, blah blah blah, meets a co-worker. Someone tries to stab the co-worker. He has a heroic moment and dies. And basically, as he's dying, he's having all these thoughts about what's bad about how he's dying and what he would do if he was doing his life. And then he gets reincarnated as something that doesn't feel pain, it's predatory, and blah blah blah. And it turns out he's revived as a slime. And this is a very odd opening episode. Some weird, kind of cool visuals. A very nice dragon design. Like, really, really like the dragon design. Some good voice acting. For something where it's nearly all talking, weirdly compelling.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep watching this for a while. I don't know if I can recommend people try it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's quirky. It's quirky in a good way. Plus, the word tsundere dragon is something that shouldn't work as well as it did.
Well, I think
Especially when it's-
Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, so it kind of makes sense to me.
Tsundere, real male dragon.
Oh, that makes
Like, not a dragon that looks like a girl, who is also a girl.
Right.
This is a dragon that is like a real dragon,
Yeah.
and is also a boy.
So
So this really deep masculine voice doing the most tsundere lines.
So Vegeta.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But yeah, so I checked out. What I would definitely recommend watching from one long episode, I would say try ReZero. ReZero, Another Chance at Life, I think it's the full title is. Again, guy ends up in a parallel world. In this case, he doesn't die. He just comes out of a shop and ends up in a parallel world. Finds out he has a power and meets up with a girl, and adventure happens. The thing is, this is a very self-aware show. When he gets transported into the other world, he goes, aha, I must have powers and have several young ladies who will no doubt fall in love with me. I'm going to be amazing because I'm a shut-in who play games. I've played this game. I know what's going on. And it's like really over the top and cheesy. And I'll save the day with magic. Wah! And nothing happens. I'll beat you up in a fight. And he gets his ass kicked. Hey, I need food. I've no money. But then from the first minute and a half, you get the feeling they're going to take a slightly different route at times.
See, I know for a fact that they do.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who doesn't know, because like I said, I'm only one episode in, and it is I would say it's a spoiler to the show if you haven't seen it. But they take an approach to powers which I would safely say is, again, very consciously against the grain of these series. The characters are likable and engaging. The animation is nice. The action so far, good. And yeah, go in there.
Okay, I find this.
Fuck off, Siri. Go away. Just go over there. Go in there aware that this is going to. It's a subversion of the genre. But I'm already engaged after one episode, and I really want to keep watching because this has a few things in there you see in a lot of heavy-duty shows.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm definitely keeping up with this. Jai, good recommendation, man. And that's me. That's me for the week. What about you, Andy?
I finished off Steins Gate Zero. Didn't like it. I felt it took way too long to get to anywhere of any significance. And right at the end, you're like, okay, this is where the show probably could have been at the halfway point, and then sat around here doing some interesting stuff, and they don't. And you're like, oh, okay. So it just didn't do it for me. I thought to myself, though, while watching it, Mikey will probably like this a lot more than me, but like you say, that's because you're a lot more invested into the show than I was, so there is that. Would I recommend it to other people to watch? I probably not. It feels like it should add something to the main Steins Gate show, and it doesn't. I don't feel it really adds anything of significance, so unless you're really deep into Steins Gate, maybe don't bother with it. Maybe. I think the movie had more to it, and people have a lot of issues with the movie. In terms of other things, I got a Warhammer Thousand Suns Codex for the new edition, because I like Thousand Suns. It's got lore and paint schemes and army lists and all that bobbins, which I need to look through and read a bit more. I got my paint, so I've been painting up some Thousand Suns as well. I still need another paint, which should hopefully come on Monday or Tuesday when you're listening to this. So I'll be working through them for most of next week, because that takes a lot of time, because they have a lot of intricate detail, and it's taken a long time to do them. But I kind of want to make sure they look good, as good as Andy can do. Basic bitch Andy can kind of crank out at least. Have I done anything else of real sexy significance? I don't think I have. I think that's all of the interesting stuff. I did watch an anime because I was interested by the premise, called, when I can find it, Zombieland Saga, which is a new anime that came out, which seems to be a guy. Well, this girl wakes up after being hit by a car, finds out she's a zombie, and a guy has brought her and a load of other cute anime girls back to life because he wants to bring the art of pop idols back, or pop groups, because they've been dying off. And it's them being zombies and not knowing and reawakening. So it is episode 1. So there's not a lot to it. I'm going to stop watching it for the moment and just let a load of episodes build up, because that's how I prefer my anime instead of doing the week by week. And since Mikey says it seems like there's a load of other anime that's starting up, like a Goblin Killer, a Goblin Assassin.
Saw that on the list. I've got a list, but
yeah, it's I hear it described as Berserk. If Berserk was adapted into a good anime, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm interested.
Oh, I'm interested now. I forgot one as well. But keep talking.
No, that's pretty much it. I've got nothing else, I'm afraid.
I watched episode 1 of Gridman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's another show I will not watch just yet, but will watch in the future.
Which is a Trigger adaptation of Hyper Hero Gridman, which is a sort of spin-off Ultraman show. And I won't go into anything. I don't want to drag this on anymore. But they do drop I wish this was an Ultraman show, because I'd be able to tell him the monster's weakness.
Nice.
Which was a fun bit. It's done by Trigger, so whatever else, it looks very nice.
I wonder if the story will hold up, or if they're going to drop the story.
Well, look at it this way. The last time that happened is because they pulled out of a show.
That's true.
So they're the only ones working on this show, so if they pull out, the show's over.
Yes, yeah.
So that's the only way that can be fucked up, unless they just don't write a very good show. But to be honest, I've yet to see a Trigger show I haven't liked. There's some mystery. There's a weird thing in the background that no one really that really needs explaining. But yeah, it definitely is taking a lot of inspiration, especially in the monster designs, from the actual Gridman series and Ultraman stuff. So that is kind of a Lemon or a Marmite series in terms of monster designs.
Yeah.
I am more sort of a Toho Godzilla fan in terms of aesthetics than I am an Ultraman monster aesthetic. But yeah, I think there's some legs under this. There's a mystery being built, which is not something I expected them to do. There's some good voice acting. The action's pretty solid. They do use CG animation for Gridman himself, but for the style they're going for, I can't really blame them.
Okay.
Because tech and CG and all that, it's a big part of the story.
Yeah.
But it is funny when they do like a long shot and they're using traditional animation. But hey, it's not Energon levels of crazy when they did that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep on watching it. I'm curious to see where it goes. I don't know if it's a long or a short series, but I think there's legs. I think there's a few legs under this.
Oh, good. Well, is that us done then, Mr. Mikey?
That's me as done as I'm likely to get.
All right. Well then, Mr. Mikey, I do have a question for you. As we got a message on the Patreon. Well, you might be. I don't know. By Richard. So Richard sends us a message saying, "Great show as always, despite the technical difficulties." That was obviously for last week. Really enjoyed...
You're a kind person, Richard.
Really enjoyed the latest IDW retrospective also. I'm starting to feel injected by the hype for the Bumblebee movie. Looks like we've got a solid 5 minutes of G1 action and a healthy injection of new, in brackets, and hopefully conceived, new characters. Question for the show. If they ever made another Japanese Transformers cartoon, what production company would you like to see tackle it? It also continues on as, what angle /era /storyline should they take? And how would you work in a tournament arc? because Japan. Yeah, because if you think about it, Energon had a tournament arc for one episode.
Energon had a tournament arc with a big boob cat girl as an announcer.
Yep. Never forget.
That was... How? What magic did they use?
I suppose you could argue as well, Speed Planet's thing for Galaxy Force was a tournament arc. It just happened to be a racing tournament arc. But it was very boring.
Yeah. Very long.
Very boring.
I'm trying not to just say Trigger again.
Madhouse. Madhouse are good.
Madhouse are good. Madhouse are very good.
UFO, the guys that do the Fate Stay stuff are really good at doing animation as well. But they're pretty hardcore locked in to Fate.
Yeah. Please, for the love of God, not the guys doing either... I can't remember the name at the moment. Either Berserk or the Knights of Sidonia /Godzilla stuff.
Yes, preferably not the guys that did those shows.
Primarily traditional animation for this kind of stuff, guys. Not bad 3D.
What about the Dragon Prince traditional animation style stuff?
Shh, Andy, no, Andy, you're drunk. Yeah, you're drunk in power.
That's right.
But yeah, that is one thing. Like, there's been some really good non-mecha based action shows in terms of visuals, at least in recent years. And honestly, I'd be more interested if you couldn't get the company than animators, individual animators, because I can never pronounce their names, so I'm not even going to go picking them out. But there's a good few out there now that I'm starting to recognize styles.
Okay.
But if I'm going to be lazy, because I love the visual tricks they use, and I'm going to say Trigger. Because I have quite the hard-on for Trigger.
I'm going to say Madhouse.
Okay. Fine choice.
Yeah.
Fine choice. So we're...
Do you want the next part?
There's one that begins with an A, and its name is escaping me right now, and I know they do really, really good stuff.
What did they do?
But yeah, what's next part?
The next part is, what angle, era /storyline should they take?
Do you know what I'd like to see? I'd go new. I'd go brand new.
What do you mean new?
Like, I would accept that they'd probably sell better if they did just straight, like, here's a revisited, reimagined G1.
We don't need to worry about that, though. We don't need to worry about selling it. We just need to come up with a story.
New characters. Like, have your G1 characters as background characters, maybe major sideline characters, or ones that come in, like, halfway through the show that they meet, and, in their tournament arc. But have this focus on Decepticons and Autobots that are on other outposts, not on Earth. They're far away. You can have aliens in there, maybe as secondary characters, maybe as major characters. But they're names like Optimus and Megatron and Starscream and Bumblebee and whatever, they can be thrown about, but they are Commander Optimus, currently stationed many miles away, many light years away. And this is about, I don't know, Tom the Jet.
Oh no, not Tom.
Yeah. And then, for your tournament arc, the Autobots and the Decepticons, for some reason, decide that they are going... The Decepticons want to make a good public image, and the Autobots want to, make a good public image, and they say, we're going to hold an Autobot-Decepticon tournament arc with no fatalities allowed. And then you come together, and you have 6 or 7 episodes of one-on-one fights, and at the end, Megatron shoots Optimus.
Oh.
And then your hero guy, he has to do a long, anime streamline punch.
Mm-hmm.
And he hits Megatron. He's like, I can't believe I just did that. And then Megatron like punches him again, but then Optimus comes in All Might style, and you get a big showdown. Actually, who's the company that does Hero Academia?
Is that not Madhouse?
I'm gonna check that because if it is Madhouse, it would be a good one to pick because they do good animation. Even if I have a problem with season 3.
I love how you gotta get that knife in there. You gotta you can't just be like, oh, they do some good animation, but season 3 was fucking shit.
Published by Shueisha. That's a manga anime. Bones.
Oh, all right, there you go. Bones. The Doctor.
They did. Oh wow, they've done loads of stuff. They've done Radzephion, Wolf's Rain, Scrap Princess, Angelic Lair, Dark and Black. Wow.
Oh, Darker Than Black. Okay, I remember that.
And both Full Metal Alchemists.
Oh, all right. Yeah, they do some pretty fucking good stuff then.
And Space Dandy. I did not know that.
Oh,
that's a weird show for anyone who's never seen it.
very.
Oh, they did Go Sick. I love Go Sick. Oh man, Go Sick is basically just this weird Victorian detective story set in Japan, but I love it. Yeah, that's how I do it. Like this, just like push out your old characters, bring in some new ones, really Japanese looking ones, like insultingly Japanese looking ones, so that like the Western fans are just going like Gundam. There's Gundams everywhere. But yeah, and that's how I do it. Andy, how would you approach it?
I think what we should do, Mikey, is we should look back to G1 and pick up from where we left off.
Zoning gay children.
We need the story of Violent Jiger. Bring him back. Bring back that piece of shit. It's about time. I think it's time that we maybe ignore episode 1 and just restart Zone from the start. Because you've got all the new characters with the Micromasters, all of the Micromasters, and you could even have a point where the Micromaster Decepticons break off and decide to join Violent Jiger. That could be a thing. For your tournament arc, you could have whatever the powers that Violent Jiger are after go like, hey, we need to set up a way to judge who's worthy of wielding this power. Before he becomes Diatlas. He can be like shitty Diatlas.
Atlas.
Yeah.
He could just be Atlas.
I'll call him shitty Diatlas. Shitty Atlas.
Just call him Die, and everyone's very confused.
Die. Yeah, because then he'd just be big.
Yeah, why you big / great?
Don't worry about it. And then obviously you can have him go through all of the Combiners and Triptychon and all of those guys in their weird fancy golden armor. Because I think that would be neat. I it's not a joke answer because it would be nice to see Zone like have more than one thing.
Yeah, or go into do a whole thing about the stuff that never got fully animated from that era.
Oh, I have had
like Zone, Battle Stars, the whole kit and caboodle.
I have had a better idea.
Oh no!
But I'm not sure how you could integrate a tournament arc into it.
Are you talking about animating the Legends comics?
Yes.
Because that's the easiest thing in the world to bring in a tournament arc. Megatron, Mayor Megatron, best Megatron. Sitting there like, you know what? This town, we've got it running, we've got it doing well. But you know what? There's nothing bringing the people together. Autobots, Decepticons, humans, like everyone's getting along their day, but no one's really working together towards stuff because I'm Megatron and I'm a really nice guy.
I care about people.
Yeah. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have a sports tournament. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have boxing. We're gonna have everything. And then someone says like, you know what? Like we are in Akihabara. I mean, we are Akihabara.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? They'd probably prefer a fighting tournament. And you're right. You're right. They would like it. And whoever wins gets my tie. So no. Andy, your answer is better than mine.
Which one?
Both of your answers are better than mine.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because I was thinking like for the sports tournament, for the round card person, the girl who would hold up the cards for the rounds. Do you know who you'd get? Because I think your answer is going to be wrong.
I have several suggestions.
Who's your first suggestion? Because I think it's going to be wrong. I think mine's going to be better.
I'm going by the fact that in the animes, the one with the card are usually the curviest. So Chromia.
Wrong.
Okay.
Cab.
Yes.
In the maid outfit.
Yes.
Boom.
And he needs to be really awkwardly embarrassed.
Oh, he'd be hating it. He'd be like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
But someone needs to be there whistling like really hard and clapping him and going like, yeah. There'd be someone in the audience blushing and holding up a card.
Minerva.
Yeah. No. Shooter.
Yes, yeah, that would work.
And because they don't like each other. So,
but there you go. That's our answers for our fun little questions. So thank you, Richard.
thank you very much. That was a
Yeah.
really cool question. Andy answered that way better than I did.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes I do have good ideas. I'm happy because at first I was like, I have no idea what I could say, and then I was like, oh, here we go. Let's roll this boat.
Hey, neither of us said more meets the eye or Optimus Prime.
No, because they're too obvious.
Yep.
Or Last Stand of the Wreckers. I'm glad we didn't go that route as well. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
Guys, if you want to contact me, you can do it on Twitter and Irish Paleo. On YouTube is GWolfV3. If you want to contact the podcast, we have a Twitter. It is the Moonbase2. We also have an email, themoonbase2@gmail.com. We accept all comers and questions. If you want to send us something fun like Richard, feel free. Next time, I will definitely work to outdo Andy. If you want to send us other feedback, feel free. And yeah, if you're on Patreon, of course, use the Patreon. It's a very quick way of getting it to us, and Andy will definitely read it because he gets an alert.
It's true.
Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr, CCTFW, on YouTube as Corporate Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums. We're on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, all those RSS feeds, and you can find it on YouTube as well as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. There we go. You can also head over to ccbunker.weebly.com for all of my nonsense and woo-woo. And if you want to go to Patreon, it is patreon.com/moonbase2. $2 each month gets you From the Files of Teletran 2, which we missed last month because comics were against us, effectively, is what Mikey told me.
We should be okay for at least one show this month, but yeah, the release schedule is a bit nuts.
Oh God. Okay. So you'll get that a week early and extended. You also get Moonbase Woo Woo, where we talk about nonsense and all that kind of fun stuff. And any kind of interviews, we give you those early as well. So thank you, Mr. Mikey, for joining me on this extensive episode of Moonbase 2. We had a lot more to talk about than I thought we did.
Yeah, I really didn't think we'd spend that much time on Transformers for this one.
We usually do when a new figure's come out. We really go dick deep into talking about each individual figure, I suppose. Which is maybe good, maybe bad. So until next week, everybody, thank you for listening to us, and we will catch you next time.
I want cake.
No cake for Des.
Okay, go Des. Go Des. Go Des. Go Des. Go Des.